Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Victoria Park. That's okay. Welcome to Victoria Park. South Australia taking on Victoria. My name, as always, is Dave Webb. I am joined in commentary today by Brodie Jackman-Evans. Brodie, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Dave. How are you today on this fresh Adelaide morning?
It is fresh. It's overcast. We've had little bits of drizzle come through. I wouldn't call it full-on rain just yet, but we have had a little. My alarm telling me to wake up. That's nice. I'm up early. You can see the city in the background, which is a good sign. There has been moments this morning where you couldn't see it. For those of you watching at home, the wind is prevailing right to left. It's blustery. It's certainly going to benefit the people attacking the left of the screen.
I mean, the good thing about football is that every team's got an opportunity to go that way for 2 quarters of the game. So that is fantastic. It's gonna benefit both teams. For the quarters that they're going that direction. So let's just hope that both Victoria and South Australia can capitalise on that win when they're in it.
I'm not sure whether we've had the coin toss yesterday and we've lost our posts away to the right, first of all, straight away. They will be put back up. So if you win the toss, generally you will defer the ball until half-time if you win the toss. Is it worth, with the scoring wind, choosing your direction and not deferring?
I tend to think it's always worth deferring.
Yeah, it's an unwritten rule, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you want to be able to start that second half off strong, especially if you have a shaky first half. You want to be able to start it off strong by being on offense at the start of the second half. Those first game jitters always creep in at the start of any game, and they're normally more settled in the second half. Both teams, coming off of a strong off-season period and a strong camp into this game, but neither team has seen game action for a while. So those nerves are going to be, and those little bit of rust, that game rust, is going to need to be shaken off pretty quickly.
Yeah, I did. I had a chat with some of the players this morning and talked to them about their camp. And from a South Australia point of view, I didn't get to speak to many of the Victorians, obviously being a South Australian, but they did a month. Now, in the past, they have done longer camps, but they found that they came into these games just a little bit fatigued, whereas now they can, now they're getting into it, and they had a month and it was short, sharp and shiny. And they feel ready to go. It is interesting, and we talked briefly. I think we pointed out the size of the Victorian tailback. The Victorian tailback looks like a fair mountain of human being. I mean, if he looks big from the back of the grandstand, God knows what he looks like when you actually get up close to him.
That's it. I think we were comparing him to the mountain from Game of Thrones.
He's
before
a big
he was
boy.
So big. He's a big boy, and it's going to be tough work for the South Australian defence to bring him down. So it's going to be a matter of getting lots of people to the ball and everyone flowing to that guy to actually be able to take him down without fatiguing as a defence as well.
Yeah, and it is going to be massive. I said it was interesting as well when I turned up this morning. I had a wander around, and I thought that the pitch was going to be soft. There is standing water all around Victoria Park, but the field itself is firm and beautiful because, obviously gridiron players like to wear the most colourful cleats they can find, but a lot of the American cleats are designed for artificial fields, so they don't have the longest studs in them. But I think they're going to be okay today. I don't think we're going to see, any major issues as far as the line goes. I was having a look down the list, and just somebody I wanted to point out from the South Australian side, number 20, linebacker Jaden Casabara. Everything that I am hearing about him from last year is that he is a tackling machine, and that's always been an issue. This is border battle too, but South Australia and Victoria have played against each other on a couple of occasions, and always they've had problems, with the running game, which then opens up the passing game. But everything I'm hearing about Jaden Casabara is that he's someone who can shut it down.
And look, I know that he's made big strides as a tackler. It's something that he prides his game on, has been able to tackle someone. But we were commenting on the size of that tailback before for a reason. He is big, and it's going to need more than just Jaden to be there and taking him down. They're going to need a whole team effort to be able to bring that guy down. But Jaden's certainly a good start to flow there and shut it down.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a delay at the moment while the captains are doing the contact. It looks as if they're taking both sets, or they're just moving the stands around on that one. Away to our right, the posts are down completely. We'll just look for the signal on this.
They'll kick from the southern end.
South Australia deferred and will kick. And importantly, they're kicking into the wind first quarter, which means they'll come home fourth quarter with the wind.
That's a very important, especially if it's a close game. Come the fourth quarter, you want every advantage you possibly can. Make the Victorian defence play a bit deeper in the fourth quarter, so you can get those underneath passes and move the ball.
So the captains for today, yeah, and it looks like both sets of posts are down now. That just gives you an idea of how strong the wind is. I'm not sure whether we're going to have a crew that will go and put posts up and hold them if there's a PAT, a point after attempt, or whether a point after try, or whether there is a field goal attempt, whether we'll have a crew that rushes out and holds them up. That'll be interesting. There is your official.
Surprise me if that's the case, if we get someone holding it. But as we said, it is gusty. I think it's the thing. It's the wind gusts that are coming through that are really.
It just shows how gusty it is. You may also get a sight over on the far side as well as the gazebo that the Victorians put up has been absolutely destroyed by the Adelaide weather this morning. The South Australians deciding against the gazebo. They're just going to go and get wet if it rains. Well, everyone's going to get wet if it rains, apart from us, Brody.
Oh, that's it. That's the best part. We've got the best seat in the house here at the back of the grandstand. Good view of everything, and it looks like kickoff is going to get underway very shortly and start this big physical border battle between the two teams.
Mitch Olive will kick us off to the right of your screen, the city end we shall call it, and more than a year in the waiting thanks to COVID and all of the border restrictions and everything else that goes with it. We are underway. Victoria will get to return. He's found a seam. Stays on his feet and finally brought down.
Really loud.
And that's what I was talking about before, Dave. Trouble with one person coming to the ball there. We need lots of bodies to these Victorian players. They are strong. You just see them shedding the tackles there on that replay. So we need lots of bodies to come and really bring these guys down because they are a strong physical force.
They are, and that was Jacob Kieran, wide receiver, on the return, and really yards after first contact. That was he made about 10 after first contact, which the coaches will not be overly happy with. Dumps it off over to that far side. Finally brought down a gain of around 7.
And it was a quick passing game there, a screen to the wide receiver, and that's what we need. We need bodies there. So you saw the bodies swarming at the end, but we need them straight away. That's a pass behind the line of scrimmage, and the South Australian defence really needs to be able to make that tackle for a shorter than 7-yard gain on a screen.
So second and, what are we looking at? 5. So it was miles out. Second and 5, Victoria in the shot. Has time to pass out. It's a good catch, and that will be a first down. There is a flag on the play, though.
That's it. We'll wait to see what that flag is, but that was a great catch on a ball that was slightly underthrown there. Great adjustment by the receiver there.
And this is going to be the thing as well, and we talked before the game about offensive lines. I think you've got a false start over on the left tackle. I want to talk to you about left tackle as well when we get a little bit of a time. Is that, I mean, everybody, well, not everybody knows. If you're new to Gridiron, left tackle is the furthest lineman, the nearest lineman to the camera as we look at it right now. He's the second highest paid player on an NFL side, and for very, very good reason. He is the one who protects the QB's backside.
He is. Think of them, if you've got a house, being the quarterback, he's the insurance. He's the guy that protects that house.
And I think he was just a little bit nervous on the last one. Victoria now will hand off, look to try and bounce around the outside. And we talked about him for no gain at all. Jaden Casabara gets hands on.
And that is excellent speed through there by Jaden. And as you were saying before, Dave, tackling machine. And he is a force to be reckoned with. And look at him read that play, shoot the gap and wrap up. That is a fantastic form tackle right there. And then the help as well. And that's what I was talking about, getting bodies to the ball. Jaden being the first one there, getting the bodies there and taking him down for no gain. That is perfect.
I think as well, year 4, Jaden Casabara. So 2nd and 10. We'll have a look around it again.
Looks like we've gone offside by the defense there.
And there we talked about that tailback. And my word, did he make some yardage. Terrell Sharp, the running back, and again, yards after first contact. Offside on the defense is being signaled. They'll decline that one. So again, the captain of Victoria will be given the option to either take the penalty,
Offside,
which I think
number
is...
91 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Are they taking it? Wouldn't you have taken 3rd and 1? 2nd and 5, 3rd and 1?
I guess they want that extra shot. They feel like they've got the power game going, especially with that tailback, and they want that extra shot. 3rd and 1, it's always a risk. Could get to 4th down quite easily, so they're going with, I guess, a safe option.
Interesting as well. So your middle linebacker is Andrew Stevens, who a wealth of knowledge at middle linebacker there. You would expect him to be the defensive captain. He'll be almost calling plays from the middle of the field. But they ran away from Casabara on the second one, lined up more as if they're going his side this time. The handoff again towards that side. They have made a block. They've got a seal. He'll just lower that boom and find his way into the red zone, or very, very nearly to the red zone.
Yeah, powerful running there by the Victorian tailback. As we were saying before, I thought they were going for the conservative option because they had that power game going with the back. And just look at him go here. Look at him plow through those tackles. And it takes more than one person to bring this guy down. He's a mountain of a human.
Just, I was going to say the top of your screen, but you can see Jaden, and he just gets, it's almost a crackback block from the 19, which is Jacob Kieran. But he was sealed out of that play very, very quickly. So he's been identified very, very quickly. Stretton Radisson with the tackle, another linebacker out of the Hogs. Apologies to any Victorian viewers. I'm not up on the helmets of Victoria.
And once again, another powerful run. That's another 4-yard gain by the looks of it from that back there. Great tackle, great wrap up, but they really need to step up and make that play earlier if they want any chance of slowing this offense down.
Well, I mean, and that's it. I mean, but when you have a tailback, it's going to get you 5 to 6 yards every time. Two running plays are going to get you close to a first down. And they go again. There was a South Australian in the backfield.
Look to see on the replay here who made that tackle, but great effort, great jump by the D-line by the looks of it. Yeah. Just,
there's 2 of them untouched.
Yeah.
So it's a Chiefs player, we know that. It is Kyle McCallie. Managing to shed his block. Managing to shed his block and gets away, and then the incomplete pass. So really, they get to a 4th down, and you would think they go for it from here. Certainly won't be punting, and there's no posts at the moment.
I mean, they've got a strong game. I mean, like, do they just give it to that tailback again and just make him run through everyone again? He's shown that he can do it 3 or 4 times already today. Can he do it again?
I mean, he's only going to make, what, 6 yards? They've gone for the back corner. Nothing. No flags, turnover on downs.
That is a great stop by the South Australian defence there, stopping them on the first drive. That's why you defer the kick in the first place, Dave. You defer that kick so you can get that first stop on defence and capitalise on that, and that's what they've done. Amazing stand there by the defence. Let's see what this South Australian offence can do on this Victorian defence.
Well, it's a big old field for them to play with. I think we talked about, just to get the depth chart up for South Australia. The starting tailback will be Bigiri Mana.
Yeah.
Pat Ryan will be the quarterback, and we are off and running, and they'll open with a pass play. The screen pass stopped and forced backwards.
And that's what I was talking about. You saw Victoria open with the same play as well, that screen, and the Victorian defence did a much better job of swarming to that ball, so that's a great job by them, and that's something that the South Australia defence can look at and say that's what we need to do in the future as well. But great stop by then, but you could see that that connection from Pat Ryan to his receiver there. Both play for the same club team as well, so it's that familiarity to get him in the zone and get him ready for this game.
And we do apologise for the feedback that you are getting. It is the referee's mic. He just keeps wandering too far away from us and disconnecting, but we will fix that as soon as we can. The first time that South Australia goes to ground. Good yardage made.
About 3.5, 4 yards on that one, which is a fantastic game because 4 yards a pop. Do that 3 times and you got yourself a first down. So that's really what you aim for when you're running the ball. Try and get 4 yards every time, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to be going a long way into this game and being able to contain the clock play as well and be able to keep the clock on your side.
That is also a Adelaide University Hogs connection. Time to pass again. He's going to look over the top, and he floated it, and it's picked off. Tackle made, I think, by Ben Martin.
Great chase down by Ben Martin there, realising that the Eagles made a play on that ball and getting him for virtually no return on that one. But that interception is just beautiful. Just got in there, made the play. Ryan throwing off the back foot there as well.
Into the wind.
Into the wind.
Yeah, yeah, he really has to step into it, especially into the wind. You see the dying duck. It's not really a nice spiral.
That was that Taylor Barrington as well. Excellent player.
Made the interception?
Made the interception, yes.
Yeah, former Hogs player.
He is. So he knows.
Oh, that's a nice pass play on the outside. They are going to get away. First points of the game will go to Victoria.
And that's it. The South Australian Sharks were just not ready there for that. They come off what we call a quick change, where there's a change in possession rapidly, like an interception. They come on, the defence wasn't quite ready, and Victoria just capitalised on that and just beat them to the punch on that. Look at him just go up the sideline there, just completely outpaces him.
Yeah, that is Tyson Garnham, who with the reception.
Look at that.
Again, that block from the 13, which is Aris Hua. Oh, how close was it to before the reception?
It looked very clean to me. Look, that reception's there,
and then it's bang bang.
It's bang bang, but that's what you want your receivers to do, to really come down, make that contact. That's what I love to see. I love a bit of blocking contact.
It's a very, very well designed play. The 2-point conversion. Going to look to just barrel the way over.
Well, it looks like
they've got him short. Theo Ashley, I think, with the most important contact, and it is not given. So it will just be the 6 points.
And you notice they've changed tailbacks here right up at the goal line as well. They've got a different guy in here, number 44, Jordan Tualapa. And he's come in as their big, strong back, but it looks like the South Australian defence managed to get him upright early and then get him around the legs and get him down.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a big ass to stop. Call him a third down back, really, wouldn't you? So you bring him in for short yardage, almost like a fullback.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those big guys that just powers through in those short yardage situations when you need it. Also, it gives a much needed spell to their starting tailback as well to keep his legs fresh for the entire game.
So it looks like we've got Zaya McMahon is down and back to return from the Adelaide UniSA Eagles.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the Victorian Eagles.
Not to
though.
be, or the Adelaide University Hogs. But really, the kicker at this point should be thinking touchback. He should be kicking this as far as he can out the back of the end zone. Didn't
like
quite get all of it, so they are going to get a return. Beats the first tackler. Then we'll find a little bit of a seam and break through.
That is fantastic. From that first point of contact, he made about 18 yards from that first point of contact there, and that's exactly what you ask your kick returners to do.
It's Jesse Whiten, who is also a backup QB, so interesting selection. Normally your backup QB will be put in cotton wool, but Jesse, no, we don't really have that option.
Yeah. Jesse Whiten would choose to run into a den of lions before he chose to be wrapped in cotton wool. He is an absolute warrior, that man, and he is a legend in the Gridiron SA community, and he is a very good player, and he's a man of many talents that can play many positions, whether it's kick returning, being a wide receiver, safety, defensive back, or even quarterback, as you were saying before, Dave.
So we have lost the ref audio, but there was a penalty on the Victorian Eagles, so it will be a first down, and I think they got an extra couple of yards.
And you notice the defensive end for Victoria there pointing out, you'll see him, he's the furthest defensive lineman away from the camera, pointing out things, and you see that's very important. He would have pulled out those changes in the lines there, which led to that tackle for a loss. Tackle
for a loss, and it is one of those things, and I was talking to Hugh Stevens today, it's his swan song today, Hugh Stevens. We will see him no more. He will never play again. Bless him. Hugh Stevens been a massive, part of the game in South Australia. But the O-line has to earn its steak dinners today.
That they do. As we were saying before, this Victorian unit is big, so they need to make sure they're faster than them. If you don't have the size, you have to have the speed.
If you've got 3 linemen in the backfield, and it is something we talked about as we hand off again and look to the middle. And again, the penetration from Victoria, just too good. And they have to fix this and fix it quickly.
We do have a flag down on this play as well. It looked like it may have been holding on South Australia, but we'll wait to see.
Well, those penalties are going to start, aren't they? You can see the holding there on the 99. But again, 99 in the backfield, another lineman in the backfield. I think 55 will be a linebacker, but if you're getting linemen into 55 is down as a D-line, Evan Vitt. Penalty is declined, so I think we're going to be third in a postcode.
This is definitely a passing down now, so the quarterback's going to have to throw it to try and make these yards up into the wind as well. This is a very hard play to make, so let's see what Pat Ryan's got here.
Has to be front foot. The little dump off, and Ben Martin will get back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So I think we're going to see our first punt of the day.
Ben Martin may not look like on camera, but he is a big man and he's hard to bring down as well. You see him just break a tackle here on the short pass and just be able to make up about 7 or 8 yards there. You see him slip that arm tackle there, and it takes 2 guys to bring him down on the sideline there. He did a good job to add a few yards to the punt in the wind.
Another penalty on South Australia, and again, you would probably think that's going to be a holding. You've played O-line. Once the D-line gets into the backfield a couple of times, how hard is it not to hold?
It's really a mindset thing when you're at O-line. Then you really need to get in that mindset of, I need to move my feet first. I need to get in front of this guy. And that's what their coaches are going to be saying to them on the sideline. We need to move.
Oh, he rolled a little bit to his left, and then we'll just send it out.
It was a very short punt into the wind there.
Yeah, Mitch Olive.
But back on that O-line, so yeah, it's really about moving your feet, getting in front of the player rather than trying to reach across him to stop him with your arms. Your whole body's a lot stronger than just your arms, so the South Australian O-line really need to move, get in the way of these Victorian players and just block them up and hold them.
And again, from a special teams point of view, and special teams is going to be massive today, I feel, with the weather and giving your defense as best an option as you can. And Mitch Olive won't be happy with that. I think, again, when I was down there being a former kicker, the the things that I was looking at was, what's my standing foot going to be like? It's absolutely perfect down there. And what's the weather? And into the wind, you just have to drive through that. Screen pass out to that far side. Gets one block. Formentera does everything he can to drag him down. Finally gets him down. Flag on the play.
And that's what I was talking about before. When Victoria got that touchdown before, they had some great blocking from their receivers, and we see another good block here by the looks of it. Yeah, blocking Jaden Kaspara there, and look at that receiver just fighting off.
That could be an offensive face mask. Let's just see whether we can see a signal.
Yeah.
But it potentially could be an offensive face mask.
So for the offensive face mask, they do need to be actually grabbing the shield. They are allowed to put an open hand into the face mask.
It is face mask on the offense. It's a 15-yarder?
It should be 15. Should be a 15-yarder, which is
that's a big one.
That is a big penalty there.
Because they went from second and short to first and long, first and very long.
Yeah, that's first and about 19 there by the looks of it. That's a hope the South Australian defence can capitalise on this. But let's see what Victoria's got. They've shown to be a power as well.
Well, they've changed that backfield again. It is Tau Lapapa in the backfield, and there he goes. Well, the first contact managed to bounce off, but again, I feel like we're going to call his name a lot. The first contact was Jaden Kasabara. Just couldn't wrap him, but he was there.
He was there, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying at the start of the game as well. They need to get bodies to the ball. Look at him; he's the first contact. If there's two more guys there, that he comes down there for no gain. So amazing job by Jaden to get there and really burst through. But the rest of the Shark linebacking room really need to step up and help make that tackle and make life easier for Jaden.
Actually, it was Matt Martin
Was Matt Martin?
Kasabara overshot it. Matt Martin managed to shed his block, but just couldn't quite get what he needed to. But the Spartans working together. Kasabara came and finished it off. Oh, that's a great tackle.
That is a great tackle. And that
right on the line of scrimmage, just trying to see it's Jaden Kasabara. I don't even know why I needed to think about it.
And look at that face mask that he's got as well. It's got the ball ring on there. He just looks like an angry linebacker, doesn't he? He wants to hit people, and look at that there.
That is about as good as it gets. As a form tackle goes, there is nothing going to happen. This will be a great shot of it. Yeah. Look at his reaction as well. I mean, and that's Taylor Barrington, isn't it?
It is.
No, that's Jacob Kieran, the 19.
Yeah. And that is just amazing reaction speed there. Like, look at that closing speed.
And it was for a loss, actually.
That is mark that one down for Jaden. That's an A+ level play right there.
Oh, he's under pressure and he's brought down. And a flag. So we'll see what the flag is for. You would suggest under that much pressure that you would be thinking about holding. He is talking to the South Australian captain, which would suggest it's on Victoria.
And that is a great play by Josh Leo there, making the contact, but also, what was it, number 38, was it?
38 is Liam Megan.
With the initial pressure there, which forced the quarterback straight into Leo's arms, and he made the big hit. He's going to be feeling that. It's hits like that that make it harder to throw the ball into the wind later in the game.
So turnover.
Turnover.
No, I mean, it shouldn't be a turnover. There we go, it's fourth. The Lollipop Man was just a little bit ahead of us. I was watching this punter pre-game and he's dropped it.
He's dropped it. Oh.
They've blown that whistle very, very, very early.
Either way.
But it's going to be a turnover, and it's a very, very short field for South Australia.
When I was talking about quick changes before, this is another one. It's not expected in this position. So that offense needs to get out there, pick the tempo up, and really force this ball. And this is a great opportunity to score. It's not often that you get only 20 yards to go before you score. So this is a situation the Sharks really need to capitalise on here.
Into the wind as well. And I have to say, ladies, look, how old is Jaden Kasabara?
Oh, he's not that old. He's only in his early 20s.
Early 20s?
Yeah.
Tell you what. Send this tape out, people. Oh, he knows. Pat Ryan knows.
That's one of those ones he just needs to step into the pass a little bit more, really get it on the receiver's hands. It needs to be slightly in front of him on a screen pass like that, because he had a bit of open field in front of him there, and that is a few yards to be made if that pass is completed there.
Yeah, and look, mitigating circumstances, it is cold. And when you play shotgun, you don't have time to find the laces. I mean, I tell you what, they're lucky that that's not called a fumble. That's a backwards pass. Here we go again. Play action. Now they will look to the outside.
Oh!
Catch is made.
Great catch. Great adjustment.
Mitch Olive.
Great adjustment by Olive there. Coming back, working back for the ball a little bit, catching it down. It was a little bit underthrown by Ryan, as we were saying. It really needs to step into that pass, but he made the pass, and that's what's important. And we got, South Australia has about 7, 8 yards to go now.
If that, I think it's 6 yards. Yeah. But it's a perfect example. We saw it on the last one. In the shotgun, you can't find the laces. You can see the laces there. So Mitch Olive is basically throwing a smooth ball. For anyone who wants to play quarterback, you should be finding the laces, and the laces should be on your little finger. When you play shotgun, you don't have the time to find the laces. Motion again. Now they will look to run up the inside.
Oh, great run.
Big contact will stop him, but they are very, very short. This is the time. This is Andrew Stevens' territory, isn't it? Put Andrew Stevens in at tailback.
I'm sure he'll be asking coach to go in there and pick up his yards. But
oh, that's a big block from Stevens as well. It's a great block from Stevens. It opened up the middle. And then the linebacker, I think, just managing to get himself off. Yep. Victor Utumapu.
That's a great hit by Victor as well. He came in and stopped. That's a touchdown-saving tackle still. That is a great hit, great contact. Look at him come through here. Big contact, stops that forward motion and drives him to the ground.
Hey, and getting into the secondary, getting into the backfield, that's exactly what South Australia want to do. That's better from Victoria, though, the penetration. Goal line defense, the penetration was there. Absolutely nowhere to go for Andrew Bigirimana.
And look at this penetration that the D-line gets of Victoria here. It's just contact in the backfield, and that's a strong goal line effort that they need to stop South Australia from scoring here.
Justice Kantanka finds his way through.
Nowhere for Bigirimana to go there. That's scary when you grab the ball, look up, and you see 3 opposite-coloured jerseys in front of you.
So it's third down, and they have had some luck with the short passing plays. I'd like to see a play action. No play action, but he's open. He's got it tipped.
That's an incomplete pass. Victoria asking for a fumble there, but that was a throw into hands. That's knocked back. That's an incomplete pass.
He had a receiver as well. He had the number 3, which is Zaya D. McMahon. I'm not sure whether the D actually stands for, he's double-barreled as well. That's wonderful work from Hunter Laumua. Gets his hand up, and that's something that you're taught, isn't it? If you can't beat your block, get your hands up, be big.
Get your hands up, get in the quarterback's way, which is exactly what number 77, Hunter Laumua, did on that play. And, that's exactly what you ask your defensive ends to do. Be big, get in the way, force pressure, and that's exactly what he did there.
So it looks like, that'll be end of quarter.
Looks like we've got an end
of the quarter. So it'll just be a quick turnaround. There won't be a huge break. We're not the NFL. We are, there's no breaking for TV. Here, we'll just turn around very, very quickly. So 4th down and about 2. It's a big, big battle of wills here. You either back your tailback, you're either going to back Andrew Bigirimana to get those 2 yards, and back your O-line to get you those 2 yards. I mean, look, both Spartans we'll put our colours on our sleeves. Both former Spartans. I think you'll be going back at some point.
That's the plan, to go back and return to the on-field action at some point.
But I am definitely former. But 4th and 2, I mean, you wouldn't even need a huddle for the Spartans, would you? That's QB sneak every single day of the week.
And that's something that I think that can't be looked past. Your O-line is such an integral part to the team, and the offense tends to ebb and flow with what the O-line's doing. I think something like this, you really need to put the trust in the O-line and say, hey, guys, let's make a stand. Let's show them what South Australian football's about. Let's go up, run it through the guts and really make them make a push. I think they can do it.
It is. It's really big boy time for the O-line, isn't it? I mean, and it's not going to get any better, and the timing isn't going to get any better for them. It's the beginning of the second quarter. They should be fresh. They should be ready to go. There has been a decently long drive as well, so you would expect that the D-line would be very, very happy that they've had this very short break where they can work a little bit harder. Sorry, not work a little bit harder, but they get that rest.
Get that rest.
Because it was a fairly long drive.
It was, and it was a physical drive. There was a lot of runs on that. But let's see what they do here. We've got a trips formation to the left for South Australia.
Staying in the shotgun. They are just going to go. They're going to isolate on that far side. Flag. Now that's going to be a PI, you would think, which way that goes.
If that's defensive pass interference, that's an automatic first down.
Which is a big, big penalty for South Australia. See whether we can see up the top. It's Zaya D. McMahon over there again. Just see whether we can see. We just haven't quite got it. I know there was a hand fight. He's not. So we caught the tail end of it there. The DB. What's the number for the DB? It looked like 29, which we don't have listed.
Was it 24? Was it Troy O'Hare that was?
Might be Troy O'Hare. If he's not looking at the ball, did we get a signal? Well, we've gone to first down, so it's a PI. It's a defensive PI. So we now have 4 downs for them to get 2 yards.
Look at them to pound it straight up the middle with Bigger Romano in this play. They've got a...
Because you've got 3 other goes. Just see whether we can get this in. He's gone on to centre. He's gone to big Gavin Jones. Can they move the pile? They are moving it slowly.
We've got a touchdown signal. We've got a touchdown signal. That's touchdown South Australia.
Gavin Jones coming in and doing the and a flag. You think that's going to be against Victoria for a little bit of unsportsmanlike conduct. But, ladies and gentlemen, is that the slowest touchdown you've ever seen in your life?
It might be the slowest. It also might be his first at state competition.
Big Gavin Jones doing the job of William the Refrigerator Perry.
Yeah. Doing his best impersonation there. Gavin Jones is a big man, might even be bigger than the refrigerator himself.
I tell you what, put that touchdown down to the entire O-line.
That is just push, 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 push. Never stop.
Were there any salad eaters in there? I think Pat Ryan might have found himself caught in the middle of it by accident. I think the question would be, was his forward momentum stopped? And I feel like at no point it was. I mean, it was glacial, but it was going.
Yeah, you saw his legs moving, and you saw the legs moving of every single one of the O-line as well, and that's going to give them confidence for the entire game. That's what I was saying before. It's a big boy play, and they've made it. They've pushed through that big Victorian defence.
So it looks like they're bringing on special teams. Mitch Gavros is coming on as well, and Pat Ryan is still there, so they'll probably go for the 2 points. The 2 points would be good for them. Nobody's finding their way to the posts.
It's good. With 2 points here, they'll take the lead.
Yeah. They've gone trips on that right side now, so they'll have an isolation with Mitch Olive on this near side if they want it. Bigger Romana. I mean, why not put Gavin Jones back in there? So they are going to look around to the trips. It's tipped. Goes to ground, so it's just 6 points apiece.
And that is a tied ball game, but that's still a very strong stand for South Australia there. I mean, a bit of pressure come through and a tip pass, but you know that's nothing to shake your head at there. You know, they got the 6 points, they got the important ones, and you know, we're back to an even ball game, and you know, let's see who can make the next big play and the next big stand from here. Is it going to be South Australia capitalising on that strong defensive stand they had before, or do Victoria have something in the tank to come back and shove it down South Australia's throat? Well,
this is it. I mean, if you talk about momentum and confidence, it is definitely in the hands of South Australia at the moment. That big, and if we think back, what started this for South Australia was the face mask, the offensive face mask.
Yeah, so it was the offensive face mask, and then it was Jaden making a big hit on a receiver, and then a sack, and then a fumbled, attempted punt, I guess you'd call it. So it was all positives for the defense there. They got themselves in the right position to draw that face mask, and then they read well and just played well from a position of advantage there. And let's see if they can do the same thing again now. South Australia kicking into the win now as well.
Oh, with the win, Mitch Olive. There it goes, and that could be absolutely perfect from Mitch Olive. There's the touchback. So it gives them, they will start on the 20. So because he's kicked it out the back of the end zone, they will start on the 20-yard line. And that is much better from Mitch Olive. After that first shaky punt, from a kicking point of view, I mean, his receiving has been good. I think he's 1 for 1 from his receiving. I don't think he's been targeted.
Yeah, I think it's
much.
Just of the catchable balls, I think it's 1 for 1 for him, and it was a beautiful adjustment he made on that throw as well. Great kick out the back of the end zone there. It means that a South Australian defence has got 80 yards behind them as, I guess, insurance, and let's see what they can do here. Victoria with the big tailback in number 44 again, Jordan Tualapa.
Does make some good yardage, around 5 yards. You can see that he's almost made it to that second line.
And he's one of those players that you need to get bodies around. He is a big guy. He is powerful. Look at him. He makes the quarterback look tiny there. He just brushed off Andrew Stevens like it was nothing there.
Yeah, and that's going to be the problem. And unless you're getting into the backfield and making that first contact, so they're making first contact at or around line of scrimmage, and that's going to cause you problems because he's a big unit to put down.
As soon as he gets ahead of steam,
there's a change, and they'll run on the other side, and he just loses his feet.
Was he tripped up by someone there?
I'm not sure whether he's tripped up or just lost his feet again. We play college rules, so as soon as his knee hits the floor, the play is over. Doesn't have to be down by contact. But it was interesting. I was just wondering. Yep, it's just a slip. I mean, we'll give 48, which is William Geach. We'll give him something just, for making it into the backfield and getting a hand on him. It is interesting. So we have had a lot of rain in South Australia, and specifically in Adelaide over the last 2 weeks, really. The cleats on American football shoes aren't the biggest. Now he's found a little bit of room. Casabara misses a tackle and then finally brought down.
It's forced out of bounds there, which, on defense, we like to say the sideline's the best tackler. The sideline's never missed a tackle before. So, when in doubt, if this guy's got size, and you just push him out of bounds, and that's a guaranteed tackle. But he had a great angle there. Oh, he was brought down inbounds. That's actually a really good tackle there by the defensive back.
I think it's Brody Colwell, one of the safeties.
Yeah.
But that was interesting because, again, from a coaching point of view, from a defensive coordinator point of view, there was absolutely no contain from South Australia. He was just allowed, and that is about as good as a pass defense as you see from the old dog.
Yeah. And that's Andrew Stevens there just diagnosing that play. He knew the quarterback was going to throw that before the quarterback knew he was going to throw that. Gets there, breaks it up. If he was a little bit younger and still had his youthful legs on him, that might have even been an interception there.
I mean, interception or not, that's a fantastic play from the old Charger. Absolutely nothing he could have done. And I think Jacob Carrion is going to be the receiver you would think that is going to be their primary go-to.
It looks to be the case at the moment.
Screen pass out to that far side. Casabara again gets the first on.
2 tackles.
Stevens manages to get across but can't get him, and then he is dragged inbounds. I'm looking for flags. Nothing there. There's a lot of first down signals going on. We'll see where the spot is.
Looks to be a little short.
Oh, and there's a flag. I feel that's going to be unsportsmanlike again with Victoria. There are some Victorian officials out there.
Look at that. That's 2 strong broken
Tell you what,
tackles.
he's lucky to get away with the face mask as well, Andrew Stevens. It was only a little one, but they all count.
Yeah.
I mean, it is close to a first down.
It looks like the referee has ruled it down, depending on the spot, but it looks like he's a little short at the moment.
has just gone over to explain the penalty to the Victorian side. Like, I would think that's an unsportsmanlike conduct, and it'll be the first one towards an injection. Possibly, if he's gone and spoken to the coaches. I mean, because the flag comes way after.
And you're right, Andrew Stevens does get away with the face mask.
There's the little face mask. Just, I mean, he is bang on first down.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56 on the offense. 15 yards from the end of the run, 3rd down.
That's a big one.
That is a...
and I think he will have gone and spoken to the Victorian sideline, because that'll be his first towards an injection.
And the other thing that he would have been speaking out as well is because it was from the end of the run, because it wasn't a first down, it's still 3rd down now. So they did deem that spot short. If he made the first down because the penalty was from the end of the run,
then it would have been a first down
from back where the spot is.
Which would have made it 1st and 25, whereas now we're looking at 3rd and 15, you would think.
Yeah, it looks like about 3rd and 15. And this is a great spot, that South Australian defence. Let's see what their pass rush is like. I would imagine Victoria's going to the air game here and going to look for a pass.
Time in the backfield, looks to throw it in again. There it is! There's the pick for South Australia.
And
the return is good.
And a great hit as well. Great tackle. But amazing interception there, great run back. You know, that's better than any punt that you're going to get. I mean, we're South Australia working with a very short field again. Let's see if they can capitalise on this interception.
We don't have him listed, unfortunately, the number 89. I'm not sure who it is. But we know he's a hog.
Yeah, we know he's an Adelaide Uni hog. And look, there's a reason that team's won so many championships here in South Australia, and it's due to their all-round dominance, but they've had a great defensive backfield over the last few years and just been able to, make plays on little balls like that. But you'll see Victoria were throwing into the wind there, and that probably held it up.
Again, and it looked like a back foot throw into the wind, and it floated. And trust me, as a former QB, and you cannot. As soon as that came out of his hand, he will have known, well, this is a chance to be a pick. Yeah. You just can't. You can't be looking to take off big chunks of yardage into this wind. You can't. And
I mean, they've been picking off small bits with Karen a lot as well, but getting backed up from that unsportsmanlike penalty.
When you're 3rd and 15,
yeah,
then you're stuck between that rock and a hard place where you think to yourself, well, I've got to get 15 yards out of this.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to get 15 yards in the air today, I mean, your arm has to be an absolute cannon.
You basically have to be Patrick Mahomes, right? To be able to throw that into that wind like that.
Almost throwing it sidearm, because as soon as that starts to get up, and again, we talk about all of these things. If you're in shotgun, he had time then to find the laces, you would think. But if you can't find the laces and you're not throwing with the laces into this wind and trying to get 15 yards in the air, good luck, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it. I mean, it's a tough throw to make, but once again, that you could say that interception was because of that unsportsmanlike penalty.
The little handoff, he's going to try and find a way around the outside and away from the contain. He does. And that's the thing with the reserve. That's a very, very long run for 2 yards.
We've got 2 flags down on the play here as well.
Generally, you think they're holding.
Can't see too much on the replay here at the moment, but usually that's looking at holding of some kind. And Berrington with the tackle there, and he's.
Let's have a look and see whether we can catch anything here. There's one.
Holding, number 63 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, still 1st down.
Jake Pfeiffer. And again, it's so natural when someone's running away from you. It's so difficult to let them go, isn't it?
That's it. But it's one of those things. That guy wasn't going to make a play on the ball, so you need to let him go to preserve those yards that you gained, because it puts South Australia in a difficult position. You saw everyone get backed up on the Victorian drive before, and now the same thing's happening with the South Australia drive.
Yeah, but it's so difficult. We're not blaming Jake Pfeiffer. The discipline to go, okay, I'm going to let that runner go, is huge.
That's it. And we were talking about at the start of the game, he's got to move those feet and get in front of him.
Oh, the option play.
And
he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And you notice Pat Ryan slide feet first there, and the quarterback's awarded that protection because we don't want the quarterbacks getting injured. It makes the game a whole lot sloppier, not as good as a viewer spectacle, I guess, if they get hurt and there's no one to throw the ball. So he protects himself and slides into that one, which means he can't be touched on the tackle, but it means he's giving up. And from the point where his slide starts, that's where the play stops, and that's where South Australia will get the ball.
I tell you, it's a well-designed option play.
I think he needs to hire a baseball coach to teach him how to slide.
Slide
That
could
was
do
terrible.
some work. You've got to get on your backside, Pat. He's empty backfield, tipped away. Oh dear.
He would have been having a heart attack on that one. He goes, I just made you guys 8 yards and you almost tipped that into their hands for me? What are you doing?
Nothing worse when you hit both of the receivers' hands and you see it pop up. Not a great snap. No, it's got to be taken.
Yeah.
That's Mitch Gavros out on that far side.
Yeah.
Empty backfield from South Australia.
And you see the linebacker 55 there, Evan Vitt, kind of got faked out a little bit by that pass. If he actually kept rushing and committed to that, he could have tipped it then and there, or forced him not to make the throw and try and escape, and ended with a sack.
Looked like they changed the play, delay a game, and we know that because there's a play clock, which is a brand new thing for, I know the South Australians. I don't know whether the Victorians play with a play clock, but for certainly the South Australians, generally, again, from my experience playing QB, the referee would give you 10 seconds, and then you'd have to try and count that in your head. And they were generally quite elastic with it and quite lenient with it. Now, because there's a big clock on either end, there's no excuse really for...
I mean, can you just touch on how hard keeping that track of that 10 seconds is while you're thinking of a million other things in the play as
massively
well?
difficult. I think, well, once, if we were coming out of the huddle and he said 10 seconds, then all of the other things that you needed to think about just went away. That one overthrown. But to be honest, there are times where you'll take the delay of game because it's not a loss of down, it's a loss of yardage, it's not a loss of down. So there are times that you will take the delay of game. That probably wasn't one of them.
Ideally, no, you don't want to be at 3rd and 17 rather than 3rd and 12. But, I guess it's one of those things. You'd rather have the play right than be forcing a turnover to the other team. And you'll see that he didn't have the laces on that one again.
And I think now that the O-line is starting to settle into what they're doing and the amount of time and protection, this is interesting. They're going to punt from here. So he's going to collect it about 45 yards out with the wind. I mean, he's either going to have to find a corner or fake it. Oh, the fake is good. And he gets to the first down.
The referee is signalling first down, and that is a gutsy call.
Take a bow. I mean, where's his first contact? There.
Oh.
And that's
incredible. That was 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Behind the first down marker was the first contact.
That's Evan Vitt. So he's a proper linebacker. Is he just surprised?
And he just, I think he's a little bit surprised on that one. He was caught out of position a little bit, and Mitch Olive just...
I mean, there's a tackle that's short again that he manages to run through, and then you just see him extend motion. Oh, the little cross underneath, and I tell you, if McMahon had caught that, we were putting more points on the board. There's another flag.
I think that'll be holding again. It's in the vicinity of that O-line there.
You would say it is, but just going back to Pat Ryan, now he's got a little bit of time in the pocket. I'd like him to find the laces.
He did, and that throw.
It's Jake Pfeiffer again.
Number 63, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
This is where you need someone like a veteran leader like Hugh Stevens to say to him, like, Jake, you've
we're
got
doing
time.
okay.
Yeah, we're doing okay, Just set your feet, reset your mind. We got this. We're a team. You're not out there by yourself. We're a O-line unit. We need to settle down. We need to cut down on these penalties, but you've got it, and just needs a big boost of confidence from a player like Hugh. And that's why you have players like Hugh on the team. Not only are they excellent on the field, but they're excellent leaders as well.
This time they will go to the ground. Tackled at or about the line of scrimmage, and they're moving the pile again. Now there's whistles. So he does get some positive yardage, but my word, did he make us work? Did he make them work for it? Well, that's been a big, big thing for South Australia. Second down and
look at that.
Your math, 17.
Look at that. You've got Pat Ryan pushing as well. The quarterback's even helping move that. You've got the whole O-line.
Well, we say helping.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah. Hey, it's the effort that counts.
Yeah.
I mean, he might look small compared to some of the O-linemen, but he's still a big guy. He's still got a bit of size behind him. He can still help push that. I mean, extra bodies count, extra legs moving. They're yards that you need to really attribute to the O-line.
Motion again. They got a double tight end, and the motion comes across. Offsides or false start. I tell you, they have to be really careful as well. I saw the 31 went in motion, which is Andrew Bigarimana. Just saw him sort of like nod his head. Just see whether we can see anything here. There you go. Yeah. That's what happens when you put salad eaters on the O-line. They can't deal with it.
They get scared by those big boys on the D-line.
Too close to it. But we have said it, and again, talking about my experience as a QB, there was nothing more frustrating than a false start on a receiver. Just watch the ball.
Yeah. And then and having some experience on the O-line, we always get taught, you keep one eye on the ball, one eye on your man, and you really can't go to that ball's gone, because if you false start, it's a letdown for everyone.
It kills the team, because it's 5 yards. So we've gone from second and onward. Looks, that all got a bit silly. Did we? He's being pushed out the pocket. He's going to get to the sideline. He can throw it away if he wants. He'll just lob it up there.
Oh.
Just turns into defense, and again, I can almost...
The O-line turned into a sieve there, because it seemed everyone was in the
It almost feels like they went on no sound, because I didn't hear or see any set. But PTSD, I just heard Andrew Stevens in my head saying, throw it away, throw it away.
Can I just say that, well done to Pat Ryan on that one. Look at him getting outside, running away from everyone, and still getting that ball downfield. May not have been the best decision in the world, but that's a throw on the run, and he's still getting it, 30 yards downfield. Yeah,
I mean, that's all great, but from a head coach and an OC point of view, when you get a chance to speak to him, you're saying, just throw that away, Pat. Hit as he throws, and again, back foot, high, loopy. So we're going to have a punt again, and it's around, let's see whether Mitch Olive goes back to punt, or whether they're going to, or what they're going to do. I mean, what would it be? It would be a...
It looks like they're bringing it out.
So it would be a 37 plus 5, 7. So it would be around a 40-yard field goal. Don't know what Mitch Olive's... Well, I mean, judging by his leg on the kickoff, it's kickable.
And that's and we're into the wind as well, but it looks like they are punting it here.
Yeah, I mean, he could drop kick it.
Yeah. He could. He could.
I think the last player we saw do that was Tom Brady, I think, drop kicked it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the ball's always...
just going to go for coffin corner. Depends on where it went out.
Looked good from our point of view here, but we'll see where the spot
really good.
is.
It looks like he's going to mark it on the 4. He's going to spot it on the 7.
Is it the 7 or the 11?
The 11, sorry. Yeah, it's really the only thing you can do at that point. And with that wind, then aiming around the 10-yard mark would probably be the best option. Gives Victoria, again, have got a long, long field into this wind, and there's about 5 minutes to go till half-time. Well, it's not about 5 minutes to go. It is exactly 5 minutes and 6 seconds to half-time. That is the beauty of the gridiron clock.
And we'll see if the South Australian defence can get a bit of pressure here. And look at that, just bouncing to the outside.
Casabarad makes the tackle on the outside and doesn't let him get out. But it's not going to be the middle linebacker's job to contain. And again, from a South Australian defensive point of view, there just appeared to be no contain.
Yeah, you see
It's Matt Martin.
Is that Matt Martin for the Sharks there? He just got absolutely manhandled by number 56 there, Jai Man, and just got pushed around, and that's something that he needs to be stronger on.
Yeah, Matt Martin, who it's his first year as a D lineman, spent most of his time as a receiver with the Spartans, and last year was promoted to the D line. They'll run again, and they're in the backfield. Tackle made in the backfield. It's a Chiefs helmet.
Yeah, we'll see where they spot that. It looks like he might have got back to the line of scrimmage there.
Kyle McCallie.
And looks like we've got a flag down as well on this one.
Just good penetration from Kyle McCallie. And again,
Offside number 89 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Which is our unnamed soldier. So we're not sure who 89 is. We'll see whether we can find out at half-time.
Yeah, and that's a big shame, because that was a tackle for a bit of a loss there, which would have put South Australia in a good position there to make a stop. But as we were saying before, penalties kill drives on offense, and they extend drives for offenses if those penalties are on defense.
Oh, and that's going to kill your coach even more. It looks like your 89 is a cornerback. So your cornerback offside.
It looks like he's coming down late for the press on that one.
So second, and not very many. That's a good screen pass out onto that far side, and the tackle comes across. And it looks like Abdul Jalal will come over and make a tackle. Another one wearing the helmet of the Hogs.
And that's a good tackle, but even better play by Victoria there. Look at that, get it out to the screen guy, get it out there quickly and make those yards up, get that quick first down, especially with the clock running down as well. You want those quick completions, those quick passes to really move the ball efficiently, and that's what they're doing, and they're doing a really good job. They've been doing a good job all game of those short passes.
And apologies, he's wearing a UniSA helmet. Yeah. He's an Eagle, not a Hog.
Dominated the juniors competition, Abdul did.
Little pump fake, and now they'll go long. That's a better long pass, and he just overthrows him.
You see the difference between that long pass and the one he threw earlier? He drove his front foot into that, found the laces, and just was able to power that one even through the wind there.
It is something that I have noticed about him. I mean, that's about as perfect as a shotgun snap as you can hope for. He got the laces straight away, but he is finding the laces. And it's certainly something that I'd like to see Pat Ryan just do a little bit more, especially if his O-line is giving him time, which he has. I mean, look, hats off to the South Australian O-line. It's been, I thought they would... Oh, there's a
fumble! Oh, he got it.
And
South Australia not quite able to get there.
Jaden Casabaro was very, very close to recovering the fumble. Let's see who knocks it loose. Well,
also Jaden.
Jaden Casabaro knocks it loose, and then is just so close to the recovery. But he's going to drive them back, and it'll make it 3rd and 15.
And as we saw on the previous 3rd and 15 play, they try and give the quarterback a bit more protection, which gives time for those South Australia rushers to get there. I mean, Joshua Leo had the big sack before. Let's see if he can add to that tally or make some pressure to make it a bad throw for him.
Very much, I'm not sure who the defensive coordinator is, but just see this play out, and again he managed to drive that one fine midfield, and boy, that sounds like footsteps. Tyson Garnham. I mean, look, as a receiver, if you're that open and you're in the middle and you're sat on the middle, you know that there is a middle linebacker coming.
And I mean, the thing we always say is, like, you're going to get hit anyway as a receiver.
Just make sure you come down with it,
yeah.
Please.
But be the hero, right?
Yeah.
Come down with that catch and be congratulated for taking the hit.
But that should be a catch. That's just a straight drop, and like you see, middle linebacker.
Guess who was there?
Jaden Casabaro was there. But yep, punt into the wind. It's going to hold up.
And giving the signal to stay away from the...
And Jaden Casabaro recovers it. So, I mean, it's another tick in the stat box. But just so you know, if you just, you're a fan of Spacequake Sports and you found this within Spacequake Sports, just so you know, you cannot progress a punt as the defensive side. But as soon as it touches a receiving player, the ball is live. So that's why you would have been shouting everybody to get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. And the ball does not do as it's told.
Yeah, every team has a different call for it. Some to say like poison. That's a very common one. Like poison, don't go near it, get back. But it's also on the punt returner's job to point out where that ball is to keep all the receiving players away from that ball.
So a relatively short field again, half a field. Pat Ryan, empty backfield. Quads over on that far side, and Ryan,
that's good.
He is hit hard by Utamapu. I would want a flag.
We've got about 2 minutes left in the quarter here. We haven't had any timeouts taken yet, so look for South Australia to...
I know we're in slow motion here, so...
Oh, that's a very, very late hit.
He is very, very down.
He looked like he did try to stay up, though, to give him some credit.
No, I mean, he could have gone over the top. There's a million things he could have done. I mean, as soon as he sees that, then he comes out of it. It is entirely on him as well, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Just trying to find a way around, went backwards to go forward, and again, they're going to get a 3rd and short. Gavin Jones territory, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And there we go. That's McMahon, securing the ball first that time, making sure he's got the catch, and he just showed what he can do once the ball's in his hands. He can certainly make some people miss, and runs away.
And a half.
So that's a 2-minute warning. We will have just heard. So we get to see Jake Pfeiffer do his work as well, and much better from Jake Pfeiffer as well. He will know that the ball is going over that side, so all he has to do is protect the QB, and it's a short pass play, so he knows he doesn't have to do it for a huge amount of time. That's
a quick little jab step into the guy at left tackle there, hold him up for 2 seconds, and you're golden.
And
that is intercepted.
That's
He's
a pick
home.
6. There's nothing you can do. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Victoria Eagles.
That is excellent play there. I mean, look at that. Bounces off the receiver's hands. We'll see it again in a second on the replay. And that's one of those ones. You really need to secure that ball first.
Desperately looking around for some yellow on the field, and there isn't any.
On the hands and straight over. That's one of those ones. That interception's credited on Pat Ryan, but that's not his fault. That's one of those ones you wish you could...
And with that play, with that short pass play, if there's an interception at that point, you just put the 6 points on the board almost straight away, because there's nobody back there.
I mean, I've had 2 interceptions like that in one game before, Dave, and got tackled in that 5 yard to the goal line both times. So, don't completely write it off if you're a bit slower like me, but when it's someone with wheels like Magic Majing. He's Magic. That might be the best sports name here today. You get some
his
good
parents knew, didn't they?
They knew he was going to be a
superstar,
and he's shining here in the border battle with the pick 6.
So they're going for the 2-point extra. Oh, it's a fumble. Can't quite get the pressure, but they do break the play up. There's John Formentera who'll break that play up, and it's just the 6 points. So 12 points to 6 at the moment with 1:11 to go.
Good pressure there by the South Australia D-line as well. Got it in his face, made that throw hard, and then the speedy John Formentera with the pass break up there. That's just good all-round defense.
Eyes off of the ball. That's the biggest thing. He was looking for his receivers before he'd secured it.
And you notice that the thing that both Andrew Stevens did on his pass breakup before and John Formentera on this one, they secured the tackle with that pass breakup as well, and that's something that's certainly preached in defense.
Well, it's Andrew Stevens. I mean, Andrew Stevens, he spends a long time working on the little details.
And it's always secure the tackle first in case that guy happens to make a miracle catch and knock it out second.
So there's McMahon and is it Whiten? Back to receive it is. So Jesse Whiten and Zaya McMahon back to receive.
Look for this kick to come up a little bit short into the wind here as well.
I'm amazed that they've got such a big gap between the receivers and that second line. There's no protection there. And the ball is live wherever they go. It's actually a good kick, but it does hold. Whiten trying to find a way through. Does bait the first tackle. So essentially you are 11 versus 11. But from a receiving point of view, generally don't have to worry too much about the kicker. And generally, if he beats the first tackler, everybody else should be blocked.
And that's good, and that's exactly right. I mean, having the two split returners like SA do, it certainly makes it easier to make those adjustments like that. But it also leaves McMahon kind of blocking no one here. You see on this play, he's kind of just looking for work. As it turns out, that you pointed out the gap between the second line and the returners. The second line were actually in the perfect spot with that short kick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, do they need to sit that deep, or do you stagger your split returners? Let's see what they can do. Again, they'll look short and
was that
just
tipped at
missed
the line
his
that
target.
time?
Thomas Tunno was the target.
Either way, there's big pressure. We were saying earlier in the game that those Victorian ends are getting their hands up and making themselves big, making it a nightmare for Pat Ryan. And you see him get his hands up and make that a hard throw there, and he just pushed it a little bit high.
He has to throw over the top. Again, I'd like him to, he's got time to find the laces. I'd like him to start doing it.
He's taken a couple big hits here as well, and you know that rattles you and speeds up that internal clock as well. He's got time.
Back to pass again. Now he will look long and overthrows his receiver.
The receiver did fall down there by the looks of it.
I think they're just going to lose the top a little bit, which will make your footing has to be absolutely perfect, especially, you know, when you are a little bit back footy again.
And there you see
Mitch Olive,
yeah, just falling down at the top of the route there. I mean, we know how good Mitch Olive is, and you know, if he stayed upright, he's going to make at least a play for the ball. Don't know if he would have caught it, but he would have certainly made a play for it because he's an outstanding player.
Tight end on this near side. Better protection. He's overthrown him again, and my word, that was close to being picked off by Joey Donaghy, and he just lost his footing as well.
I mean, we say when you throw the go route, that one straight up the sideline there, we really want to place the ball between the receiver and the sideline, and you just see him. It was probably the pressure that caused that throw to come inside a bit. You know, that's a tough throw to make when there's pressure in your face, but we really want to get that ball over the top so the receiver's got a chance to make a play on the ball. He either makes a play on it or misses it, but the defense doesn't. But that pressure there's what caused that throw to come inside.
Yeah, it's back foot and it's just crept in field. Olive with the punt. Tyler Barrington looking to buy a flag and didn't get one. Who is it who ran into him? Was it Hugh Stevens? It was Hugh Stevens. That's one of the nicest things I've seen in a while. He showed catch. Good fun.
And that's it. They've played together before, Hugh and Taylor, and you know that's just a bit of that's no love lost there between them. That's all in good sportsmanship.
I don't know what he was looking for. Yeah. And then he popped up as if he wanted to say something, and then realised who it was.
He gave him a bit of a hug, and that's just the brotherly love of this game, isn't it?
Taylor Barrington, who absolutely pulled apart a grand final, a great Southern Bowl, and the scramble. Going to find his way through, and he'll slide probably for the first down. We'll certainly...
Just remember, it looks like they've marked him short because it's from where he initiates that slide, not where he ends up.
But I think you can almost give that as a tackle to William Geach. He does get hands on. Just opened up the middle for him.
Maybe Pat Ryan can just have a chat to him about how to slide. This looked better than Pat's slide.
It's a much better slide. That is the one. But Geach has got hands on as he starts to slide, so we'll give him a tick for the tackle.
Yeah. That's the second one that he's been there. He almost got the ankle tap when the guy fell down. We'll give him 2 for that one.
We'll give him 2 for that.
Build his stat book for him.
He's coming over to speak to the Sharks sideline. Nothing, maybe just talking about something. It's 2nd and millimetres, second in the width of paper.
We've got about 28 seconds left on the clock here as well, so not long. Let's see if he can drive that
So
ball.
they must have called a timeout. Somebody must have called a timeout, which you would think would be Victoria. If they could get another touchdown, a breakaway touchdown here, you would be in what you call a prevent defense now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You're getting those guys back. You're telling everyone that we're on defense, that we're playing behind them. Let them have the catch in front.
Yeah.
Just don't let them have it behind you.
We got 28 seconds. You'd just be hoping for... Yeah. You just can't let them get into the end zone.
Yeah.
So
That's
expect the linebackers to drop. Oh, and the fumble. That's going to... Oh, another fumble.
Is that South Australia?
South Australia got a shot at it. Waiting for his... Oh, no. Victoria will come up with it.
This is one where you just run the clock out of your Victoria.
Yeah, take a knee now.
Yeah.
Nathan Fankhauser.
He eyes off the ball again. That's the second time that he's done that. That's what caused them not to get the 2 point.
And it was a definite fumble as well. It wasn't like he was tackled, but Nathan Fankhauser, yeah, you can just see him look up at the last minute. Yeah. And I think I would expect them to hold the ball in the air and take a knee.
Joshua Leo with a big hit on him again. Those ones still count, even though they're not a stat. Those hits still count, and
I
they
just saw. Is that offsides or an official timeout when he touches his shoulder? Is that an official's timeout? I can't. 14 seconds on the clock anyway. We'll see whether we get any level of announcement. But third down and a long, long way to go. So they might.
I mean, this is one. I mean, you've got the lead.
Just have a pop.
Yeah, why not go for it? Just get that protection set, get your fingers on the laces, and just launch this one deep. And, you know, this is one where we might look for, what was his name?
Your number 19, your number 10, where's he gone? The 19, was it? Jacob Kieran.
Yeah. Look for Jacob Kieran on this one. He's been their go-to bowler. Is he on the field?
Yeah, he's in the slot, near side slot. Oh, the penetration again.
That is fantastic. That is,
and that will do half-time.
And that is Josh Leo with another big hit, Dave.
I tell you what, defensively, South Australia have been absolutely outstanding. It is Spartans-esque at the moment. It is the defence doing most of the work, and then the offense has just got to try and find a way. Great penetration. I think that's Josh Leo came through, who was the Hogs player as well, who managed to find a way through. That will be half-time. It'll be 12 points to 6, the 38.
Liam Megan.
Really, really good work from both of them. 69 was in the backfield as well, which is Tom Rose. Look, defensively, South Australia have been absolutely outstanding, but there have been moments where Victoria, and they've shown how offensively strong they can be, but big positive for South Australia, a pick 6, which they can fix. But defensively, they've only let up the one touchdown.
It's not like Victoria's been driving down the field on the South Australian defence either. We were saying before we're not sure who drew up the defences for this game for South Australia, but boy, does it look like an Andrew Stevens written defence, doesn't it?
It does a little bit with a single safety. I know Andrew generally likes to play 2 safeties, but a single safety, it's 4-4, I think. So 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers. Ladies and gentlemen, Brady and I are going to go and try and find out, who the number 89 is for South Australia, whether there's any news from half-time for us. We will take a break, and we'll be back with you for half number 2.
A little bit starstruck.
Get a bit overexcited, yeah.
And miss it a little bit. But he did not there, and that's why he's a starter on the D-line there, securing those tackles.
Again, looking for that outside. Oh, there's got to be a flag on that.
There's about
a million of them, and one at the end of the play as well.
I'm pretty sure that was holding against Victoria there.
Yeah, because Matt Martin almost got undressed on the way through.
And, we were talking about the contain earlier, and Matt definitely had it that time and would have made the tackle if he wasn't, didn't have a leech on him, just stopping him from getting out there.
So there's a question now. So it's either going to be 3rd and 10 or 2nd and a bit. Where was the line of scrimmage? I can't see the lollipop. I think the lollipop's already gone down. So it's just a question now of whether you're going to take the 3rd and 10 or the 2nd and whatever.
You take the 2nd and long in this case, I think, and force them
sorry,
to
I'm just missed.
10 yards from the previous spot, replay 2nd down.
Yeah, so 10 yards from the previous spot and replay the 2nd down. So it's going to be 2nd and, geez, like I said before, 2nd and a postcode. Yeah. It's a long, long way.
And that's exactly what you want as South Australia. You want to force them. I mean, they've got about 25 yards to get a first down here now, if not a little bit more.
Well, what have they got? They've got 15 yards to get back to the original line of scrimmage. You'd think it's a bit over that, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's about 26 yards by the looks of it. 26
it's a
and a half yards.
long way.
And now they're going to have to look to probably pass it a little bit, and we can get that South Australian pressure back in there.
Now Martin will collapse the pocket, and he is going to scramble away and gets on the outside and gets the sideline. I tell you what, was not a million miles away from breaking it from a first down. And it's not the first time I've said it today. There is absolutely no contain from the South Australian side.
I mean, that was one where the contain guy actually pushed too deep that time and opened up that wide gap for him to run through. And, as a quarterback that's got some wheels like that, it's exactly what you get toward. If there's no throw there, take it down and take the yardage that's there. And it just so happened that there was about 20 yards there for him to take. And look at him go.
See how wide his eyes are, though. I tell you, on a QB scramble.
And you see him staying safe by getting out of bounds there as well, so he's not getting hit.
But yeah, the outside. Oh,
I reckon that'll be a false start.
Delay a game, I reckon. Didn't quite get him that time, but I would suggest it's a delay of game looking at the play clock. QB is asking a question. Maybe he said there was time on that.
So now we've got 3rd and about 13 by the looks of it. 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14. Look for the...
Oh, he did. I thought he got a lot further than he did, to be honest. I thought he got a lot further than that.
So we'll see what they go here, and let's look for Jacob Leo to get some more pressure like he has been all day.
He's scrambled out of the backfield again, and he finds a target. Does very, very well. And I tell you what, that's an important tackle from John Formentera.
And you notice that the pressure forced an early throw on that first, forced him to roll out on that one, and probably made that throw a bit harder. But kudos to Nielsen for making that throw and delivering it straight into his receiver's hands.
And that is an incredibly important tackle from John Formentera, assisted by Andrew Stevens, because I mean, what is it? It's like a 4th and 3 now. So to go from a second and a cross-country journey to 4th and 3.
Watch for them to hand it off here to their big tailback. Oh,
false start. It would have to be, wouldn't it? Yep. I mean, look, in those circumstances as well, okay, as a QB, one of the things I would think about and I would say is, right, we are less than five yards from a first down. I'm going to try and hard count them. Yeah. I'm going to try and hard count them. I'm going to try and get them to come across and let them initiate contact, which is a free play for us. And if we don't do anything with it, it's a 5-yard penalty and we get the first down. And you would say to your lineman, it's going to be a hard count.
Yeah,
it's
like,
going to be a hard count.
Don't move.
Don't move.
The guy in front of
Don't
you moves.
move. Yeah. So from 4th and 4 to 4th and 7-ish.
Yeah. So now look for that pressure to come from the outside again. Josh Leo's been key all day on that.
Time again, and that is broken up. It's broken up by Abdul Jalal.
And that is a fantastic, that's a turnover play right there. That's one that forces the turnover, breaks it up, and that is just absolutely fantastic there by Abdul, breaking that pass up from the safety position there. Look at him.
Really, really good. And that was towards Jacob Kerrin. Again.
Look at something that you can't see on this replay right now is Abdul just reading the eyes of that quarterback. As soon as he opens and locks on that receiver, he drives on that receiver here, and you see him come down, play it hard. He was going for the pick, didn't quite get it, but that's okay. It's
you
a
don't want
turnover
to pick
anyway.
on 4th down.
Yeah.
On 4th down, you'll take the turnover and go back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Motion again from South Australia. Faking the reverse, and then he's going to look up the midfield, and he'll just make about 4 yards.
And that's good. You see South Australia moving these players on motions now to try and confuse that Victorian front, to try and stop that pressure from coming through up the middle. You know, even if Pat Ryan here is getting 3 or 4 yards every carry, that's better than a loss or a tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Almost looks like a design run because there was no option handoff.
No, it was
from Pat Ryan. I mean, if that's an option play. He needs a little bit more work because there was no option handoff.
It looked like there was a fake.
Something.
Yeah, it looked like there was a fake touch pass there in front. And I think we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter now as well.
Well, that one flew by the 3rd quarter.
So, I mean, you know, South Australia's got the win now. It's 12 minutes to go in the game. They're down a touchdown. And
the extra point.
An extra point could win the game at this point. So this drive is crucial to start the 4th quarter. Even if you don't score on this drive, it's important to try and wear that defense out a bit. If you can get going for, you know, you can get going and get 3 or 4 first downs, it's going to wear that defense out. Your defense comes back on fresh, gets a solid stop like they have all day, and then you're back against a tired defense again. So that's really what they need to do here. Obviously, a score is preferable. But if we don't get that, what they need to do, tire that defense out. So at the end of the game, they're struggling, and a tired defense makes mistakes.
So the receivers on this side, 2 receivers, both from Adelaide University Hogs. Tight end in Ben Martin, and then an Eagles receiver over on the far side. Which I think is going to be Gav Ross, the number 11. I don't think they've blown it in at that point. Just rearranging the officials, so the motion is there. And the motion as well, ladies and gentlemen, if you can see it, when the motion happens, if people start handing them off and moving around, you would suggest that they're in a man defense. Well, he's got lots and lots of time and space. He beats the first one, gets down the sideline, and I tell you what.
Was that?
That was close.
That was
Kenny Liu. Yeah. A big solid hit, but
it looks like they've given that's a first down.
It is a first down.
By
it would look like.
bit.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh.
I haven't signaled it yet. They're coming back. Yeah, the chains are moving, so it is a first down.
Look at this hit on the replay. That is.
He's still in bounds.
Yeah, and that's a big hit straight to the body.
Stands over him as well.
Yeah.
We love a little bit of standing over.
Breaks that first tackle.
Barrington gets hands on. Close enough that we'll let him have it.
Yeah. I don't think you're mad about that one either side.
Looks again. Now he's going to look. He throws into double coverage. Mitch Olive was not a million miles away from that.
And that's what I was saying before on that one where he fell down at the top of his route. Mitch is so good that he's always going to be able to make a play on that ball. It may not be perfect, but he's always going to try and get some hands there and make it look like it's going to.
He just trips there, just that little trip. Don't know whether that's going to mean that he would do any better, but that was one of the things I never got to play with Mitch Olive, but I did get to train with him, and I you know, you're almost comfortable throwing into double coverage with Mitch Olive because you know that he's still got the advantage.
He's got really long arms, so that helps as well, beating anything over the top.
He'll step up into the pocket and just get back to the line of scrimmage and not much more else.
That's a good run by
I don't
Ryan.
mind that.
There wasn't anything there. The middle was all blocked up, so he just took what he could out of the play. You'll see the linebacker coming down, number 7 for Victoria, and just blowing that up. So he's just doing what he can there. I think ideally you'd like to hand that off to Bigger Romana if you can. But, he's just taking what the defense is giving them there.
No, I don't think, handing it to Bigger Romana, I don't think would have been an issue, an option, because it looks like it was designed pass block for him. But 3rd and 9.5, 9 3/4. He's got him, if he can find him. Oh! Thomas Tunno.
That is I don't know that he would have scored the touchdown on that one. I think Barrington would have got there, but man, that's a play they needed.
That's the wheel route, which is a wonderful, wonderful route, and he's beat him. Come on, Thomas.
When I was saying who's going to capitalise on the big plays, that's one that South Australia really needed there.
They did need that. I've been incredibly impressed with how Pat Ryan has thrown the ball, regardless of, him getting it. But my word. And that will be a punt. It will bounce its way to Mitch Olive. There's a return on. It's got blockers. Done very, very well. That's what we love to see as well. Tyler Barrington in the backfield with Cole Calderon. Special teams. Fighting until the whistle ends.
And have a guess who's got that one for Victoria. That's Kieran again on the return. And just showing what a threat he is.
Dangerous returner. I think he was one block away from...
Look at him just fake. Fake McMahon out there.
Yeah, the cut, especially on the likes of today, and patient running as well, trying to stay behind his blockers. But it's done very, very well.
Was that
Andrew Bigger Romana?
Yeah, that's
did very, very well to shake off the block. Handoff again. Better contain. Just manages to shake out, but that's what we're talking about with the contain, and that's Josh Leo over on that far side. Much better contain from the big man.
That's that's exactly what you want, your defensive end to set that edge, make that first contact, and then you really just want to get bodies there, and that's a really
it's William Geach again coming across and getting his name called for a tackle. You talk about getting hats on the ball as well. Jaden Casabaro, we might not have called his name for a while about doing anything big, but he was over there in and around that tackle.
He's around.
Oh! Josh Leo as he goes. It was close to an absolutely magic catch from the big fella. He would have caught that behind his back. But that, I tell you, that's an Eagles trait. The Eagles do like big defensive ends, big, tall, rangy defensive ends. And if you're trying to look for a screen pass, you have to go over or around them.
You can talk about it from being a quarterback before, Dave, how annoying it is to have someone that looks like he's an absolute monster out there.
I'll tell you what, it was close to pulling that in. It would have been an absolute miracle. But yeah, it's an Eagles trait. Like, he didn't rush. That's pre-planned from him. He didn't rush the passer. He sat in that channel. He knew, almost it's like he knew what the play was going to be. And you see them go, and you've just either got to go over the top of them with touch or go around them. Oh, big contact at the line of scrimmage, but he managed to shake away from it. Andrew Stevens made contact at the line of scrimmage, and not much else.
That's it. That's the first hat there. Andrew Stevens making big contact in the middle there, and then everyone else following up and getting.
I think as well, if you watch this, he makes the contact, and then when he gets up, he goes straight into coaching mode.
And look at the power that that number 44 has there. That Tulapa has.
Taulapapa. Taulapapa, I'm going with.
And just absolute power there, you know. That's a powerful 4 yards that he added to this.
Yeah,
punt.
if you don't wrap him, he's going to run through you. It's a very, very short one. Everyone's saying stay away. So it'd be interesting to see where they down that, because it took a Sharks bounce. I think that's going to be
about a
4-yard 6-yard punt, a 7-yard punt, which I mean, yeah, they're not fun. When they come off your foot badly, they're not fun.
And that's it. It might look like an easy position to play, just kicking the ball, but it's not. Every position has pressure. He's got about, from the time he gets the ball in his hands and secure it in a position to kick the ball, he's got about a second to get that off and kick it.
It's not a huge amount of time. And again, you talk about the thoughts that go through your head pre-snap.
And, you know, pre-snap, you're looking at everything. You're going like, where's the pressure coming from as a punter?
There's a huge amount of trust that you're not going to get any pressure. That's the first and foremost. Your first thought is, I'm not going to think about pressure. There will be no pressure. That's your first thought. So your major pre-snap thought is, catch it. Make sure that you see this all the way into your hands. And then from that moment on, you can't look at the rush. Because if you start looking at the rush, you start to panic. It's then just a process of what you've done a million times before, step, punt. But if you start looking up, that's when you start having the problems that we saw there, where you try and readjust your kick, or you adjust your kick or whatever. They're going over and talking to the Sharks coaches, not the Sharks coaches, the Eagles coaches. And I'm trying to work out where the spot of the ball is. Is he going to talk to us? Just trying to work out. That would suggest a penalty from somewhere, wouldn't it?
I think, yeah, there was 5 yards added on there for something, but I'm not sure exactly what there, because that is even further back than that punt bounce.
Yeah, because the punt was touched almost on that white line, so it is a 5-yard penalty. Oh, flags.
Be a false start.
It's got to be a false start.
There's all sorts of pointing there from the defense.
Yeah, and as soon as it's blown dead, there it is. False start is the signal. To repeat the first down.
So now be 1st and 15. About 8.5 minutes left in this quarter. This is where South Australia really needs a big push. They need to put the pressure on that Victorian defense.
Because they need the ball back as well, don't forget.
They do.
Well, it depends. It depends on what happens with the point after. If they're successful with a point after, then you would expect them to kick it out the back of the end zone. If they're not successful with the point after, then we may see an onside kick, ladies and gentlemen. He's got...
Oh, I think that just hit the turf before it went into his hands there.
Just trying to work out who that is. That might be Thomas Tunno again. We're just short of him.
And Ryan giving the opportunity for Tunno to absolutely shine in this game at the moment. That ball was a little bit underthrown, but...
very, very close. Yeah. It's always interesting as well. You saw Mitch Olive there say how open he was. And as a receiver, when they throw the ball and everybody leaves you.
Yeah.
And it's you don't realize it, because as soon as that ball goes in the air, every single DB goes to that ball. And you find yourself stood like on your own. Short screen pass, back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a yard.
Oh, and that's another great tackle by Utumapu there, and just wrapping him up straight away, not allowing him to get any yards on that.
It's been the battle of the linebackers as far as who we would say would be MVP today. He's been very impressive, Utumapu. Jaden Casabara has also been impressive. Outside of those two, and unless someone can break something open, I think MVP is between those two.
I think so at the moment. It's, as we were saying, it's been an absolute defensive battle at the moment.
I mean, the difference is a pick six.
That's it. I mean, each team scored one first half touchdown.
Pressure, and he's collapsed the pocket now, trying to find a way around on the outside. Gets free, gets almost to first down. I thought he was still going then.
Where have they
see where the spot is? Oh, very short.
Well, he must have stepped out very early. Let's have a look on this replay.
See whether we can see it on this replay, because, I mean, if he is out of bounds that early, then he gets hit by Utamapu and he's out of bounds. Anyway. I mean, are we in 4-down territory? 7 minutes 48 to go. They'll get the ball back.
Well, I think just by how well this defense has played, I think what you do is
I know they are. We're in 4-down territory. But I would have thought as well with Mitch Olive, put it in the corner
and then get a stop nice and close.
Yeah, or a safety. Oh, you didn't want that though. Oh, jeez. So turnover on downs.
And you notice that number 7, Utamapu, was there, and like if he did catch it, Utamapu would have been making that tackle again as well.
Was it a dropped interception? I couldn't quite tell initially. It is a dropped interception. Yeah. 86, which is Joey Donaghy, who could have had 2 interceptions today. Underthrown, and look, I said before that you trust Mitch Olive in double coverage, but there's nothing you can do there.
That's one where you need to drive that ball, throw off your front foot and get it over the top between Olive and the sideline.
Well, hopefully it's not a regret. But I really would have liked to have seen Mitch Olive.
Look for Victoria to run the ball a lot on this drive and take as much time off the clock as they can to shorten it down for South Australia and make it hard for them.
Kenner slipped just as he gets back to line of scrimmage, so no gain there. I don't know whether it was, but I'm going to give the tackle to William Geach. I feel like he deserves it. I don't even know whether he's on the field. It's just a slip.
It's a slip, and I guess if you want to credit someone, that's Josh Leo again. But Josh Leo and William Geach have just both played outstanding this game on the D-line.
I feel as well, that Contain led to that, and Karen beats the first one, beats the second one. Third, and finally they come across and get something. It's Abdul Jalul.
Abdul with the touchdown saving tackle again there. But look at Karen go.
So evasive.
That's 1. That's 2.
I think he gets 3
He gets a really
well.
good block. That's 3. And then,
Jalul
Abdul
just about coming across and finishing it off. But, that's breaking down your feet.
And that's a
little bit of over-pursuing from Casabarra. They've managed to find the outside again. Talking about breaking, there's a flag on the play. 20, 10, dragged down inside the 10, but there is a flag on the play.
And we've got a player down for the Sharks as well, by the looks of it. He's
very slow getting up. I think that's Liam Megan, I think Jaden Casabarra got held as well. But the flag was way, way before that.
And that's Abdul with another, touchdown saving tackle there. Wait to see what this flag is.
Putting number 3 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
And that was holding on the receiver,
Tyson Garnham.
And, that's one of those things. It's hard to say whether as big a game would have been made without the hold, but
I think it's the one we were talking about. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's on Jaden.
Yeah. I mean,
Jaden did a very, very good job of showing that he was being held.
Yeah, but by Jaden throwing his hands up like that, he actually gave the receiver enough time to work back into a good position. And if the ref didn't see that straight away, you get taught as a linebacker to not throw your hands up in the air and just play through it, because sometimes the refs miss it, and then he gave that guy an opportunity to get back in. Luckily, the ref saw it this time, and it is being called back. But, Jaden does need to do a better job of working through that as well.
I think the flag was already down at that point. Was that Abdul Jalul who came across as well?
It was, yeah.
Tackle,
Abdul with another touchdown saving tackle. Yeah, and it's Megan again down in the backfield, but had that pressure there as well.
It is Jalul. So they get out of jail a little bit. 1st and 15. This time he tries the middle, and the middle is not.
Is that Abdul Jalil again coming up from his safety spot to make the tackle?
Well, first contact was Andrew Stevens, and then it's a gang. I know Casabarra is around there. Little bit of feeling afterwards. Tell you what.
It was indeed.
Yeah, he
Abdul
gets
Jalal.
there as well, and then it's a group effort.
Yeah. Is Abdul Jalal making his way into this defensive MVP conversation with the way he's played in this last quarter here?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you look at the importance of the tackles made, then yes.
And you know, this is a safety coming up and making a tackle on a big running back as well.
Yeah, just they're off and running again, and now they're just going to try and find a way through. I think that's Matt Martin, who was kind of pushed into that tackle, but makes it for a loss.
And that's it. He puts his body in front of the play.
He has no idea what happened then.
He's like, cool, I made a tackle, but you know what? Full credit to him.
But this is contained.
Yeah. And look, he works it. He beats his guy.
And he sheds that one as well. No, I think I did him an injustice. That's wonderful work from Matt Martin.
Yeah, sheds his first block, has the contain, beats walls off the other guy, and just makes a solid play. They're trying to run to these outsides now, and you know, Matt has a solid contain here. Look at him. That's almost holding on 56 as well.
It's really good from Matt Martin. Third and a long way. Play action. Pressure comes through. Just about gets away with it and throws it away.
That's the smart option to throw it away there. And
there's a flag. Are they saying? That's one of the assistant coaches. He is Southern American, I worked out. Does he get outside the tackle box, is the question.
I think they've just waved that flag off, have they?
No, he's not. Yeah. No, it's still down. Yeah, no, they waved it off. Yeah. And that might have been the only question as to whether he got out. So intentional grounding if he didn't get out, but you're going to get fourth down out of it anyway.
So yeah, I would suspect
there's a receiver somewhere in the area as well, so that would be unfair. Head coach of the Sharks with his first reception of the day, and here
maybe the first reception of his whole career there for Tom Etherton.
Jaden Casabar almost at the end, almost lined up offside.
And he's gone down, and that is huge for South Australia right there. Instead of pinning them deep and giving them a long field to work with, they've now only got about 37 yards to get a touchdown and win this game. Just under 5 minutes left. This is go time. This is where everything needs to happen for South Australia. And look at that. That's someone that didn't look the ball
that's
all the
eyes
way
on that's eyes on Jaden. That's the ball is coming.
Yeah, and look, even if he caught that, I think Jaden's making a play on that anyway. He's just too athletic. And look, that's Jaden showing that he really wants that defensive MVP award.
He must know we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Motion again. Look for the screen again, and that's a missed target. Thomas Tunno. Look, that one is not on Thomas Tunno. There are some as a QB you have to hold your hands up, and Pat Ryan would want that one back again. I guarantee he'd want that one back, because Thomas Tunno was he was away. Had blockers in front of him. Oh, you just see the wind take that, actually.
The wind took that, but that's something that Pat Ryan needs to drive into then and really rocket that ball in there. When there's wind, you need to throw it with force. Cut through that wind.
We are quite lucky, actually, in South Australia that our season is in the spring. I don't think they got it off quick enough to get the offsides, and incomplete. And go to third down.
Definitely looked like there was a jump from the defense there, but it looked like he jumped up rather than forward for the offside.
I thought he was close to being in the neutral zone.
Yeah, I mean, what sort of defensive lineman jumps up rather than forward? It's an odd one.
A lucky one, it would appear.
Yeah.
Tell you what, that wasn't a million miles away from Apai. Did manage to get through the middle. Ryan has to scramble. Can he get rid of it? No. Keep hold of it.
With 4.5 minutes left and 4th and 15, what are you doing here? Are you going for the punt, or are you trying to take it and go for it?
Look, with the amount of time, I'd be looking at Mitch Olives to take us as close to the goal line as possible. Look, the number of fumbles that they've had from a QB position and the amount of pressure that we've managed, there's a safety there. There is a safety there, but they're going to go for it.
Either decision, not a bad one. It just, you know, you hope you can convert. It's a long play, though.
It's a very, very long play. Oh, and if we're going to send...
Where is that spot? Because that is an
That's Zion
outstanding
McMahon, and it looks like a first down for me every day of the week, and it is a first down. You talk about moments that can change a game. That is probably one of them, because you have to say Zion McMahon's hands have left a little bit to be desired today, and finally he comes up with something absolutely massive.
That's
goes up big and strong for that one.
Big, strong, and that's what we were talking about before. You come down with the ball even if you're getting hit, and you're the hero. Like, that is the biggest play of the game so far.
Because that's not an easy catch. It's not the easiest ball, and very, very nearly found Mitch Olive again, who just hasn't managed to find good feet underneath it.
Yeah. And was that Taylor Barrington on the pass break up there as well?
Potentially, they'll be former teammates.
Oh,
no, it's the 17,
Magic.
which is Magic Majing.
Yeah. And that's Magic had the interception return for the touchdown in the second quarter, and coming up with a big pass break up there as well.
So empty backfield. 2nd and 10.
Yep.
4 receivers down on this near side. And that one was easy compared to the other one.
Maybe he just needs the pressure around him. Maybe he's just one of those players that needs to be getting hit while taking the ball. Reminds me of Brandon Marshall back in the day in the NFL. Couldn't catch an open ball to save his life, but if there was 2 people hitting them, you know he's coming down with it.
He's taking the gloves off as well, Zion McMahon.
It's kicking it old school. He just put some stickum on his hands now.
3rd and 10. Empty backfield again. Quad receivers up on the near side, and then he's got McMahon isolated on this near side. They've gone over the middle to Martin, and he will be absolutely furious at himself. Yeah. Ben Martin, lovingly known as Juice.
Having played with Ben for several years at a club level, I know that he'd just be absolutely kicking himself for making that drop there. He knows that that's something that he should catch 10 times out of 10. He'll be kicking himself for that one.
He has to be your big go-to tight end that will give you these.
But solid hit there as well by Victoria, forcing that incompletion.
Yeah, 4th and 10, definitely into 4-down territory. He had the wheel on this near side, and yep, that was always, once you set at that point, so it'll be a turnover on downs, and it is handed back over to this South Australian defense.
And was that who was that on that one? Was that Darcy Young?
21.
Yeah. Yeah, Darcy Young coming up there with an absolutely huge hit. That's one of the biggest tackles that you're going to make in this game, and just cleans him up.
I feel like he had the wheel as well with Thomas Tunno. In fact, he did have the wheel with Thomas Tunno. If he'd thrown outside shoulder with Thomas Tunno, that would have been interesting.
So now,
but it's amazing how long the QB's memory is. He'll remember Thomas Tunno dropping that wheel.
Yeah, so we've got 3 minutes left on the clock here. Victoria's just going to pound this ball.
And they need a turnover, and they need it quickly. Well, there's the first one. They are going to keep it on the ground. They'll want this to run as long as they can. Also be interesting to see whether, and this is something I would have always wanted as a QB, is a play clock that I could see. Because now I want to manage the play clock the other way.
Yeah,
I don't want to be snapping that ball until we're down to the last three seconds of that play clock.
That's it. You want to run that time down as much as possible and really just take it off so to give South Australia nothing left. But
at what point do they start using their timeouts? So he's 13 seconds as we get to the line of scrimmage. It's a long wait for him, but clock management now comes into it.
Snapping it at the 4-second mark there. Bit of a mistake handoff there, was it?
Yeah, I think it was the snap just didn't really go, and that's where you need your tailback just to wait until the ball is in the QB's hands. I think there has been a timeout called by South Australia because they just would have wasted another 40 seconds.
Oh, the halfback stumbled there, and the QB just kept it, didn't turn the ball over, and just took the basically time off the clock there. That's a smart play by Nielsen again there. Not making a turnover, just getting down.
Yeah, but the tailback really shouldn't be going that early.
No, he needs to.
Unless he's going into a pass block.
Yeah.
But even then, let the ball hit hands first. He knows he needs to do it again. Taulapapa.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a stumble. I think he would have gone for like a forward step and then come across, which would have cleared up that room. But
I'd be very surprised if they called a pass play, though.
So would I. I think you have to keep it on the ground here if you're Victoria. No, and trust in your defence as well. The Victorian defence has held South Australia to...
Oh, Josh Leo does get around the outside. They have called a pass play. Incomplete.
Yeah. And was that Formentera on the ground?
It was, and Formentera with the kip up as well.
And he's also letting us know that it was incomplete. And look at that pressure by Leo. That's a
just
shame.
Couldn't. And we are starting to see the top of the pitch is really cutting up. But it's managed so well. We're about to hit the 2-minute warning, you would think.
and Formentera there letting us know that it was incomplete. And
he is a showman, that young man.
That he is. Always brings the energy. There's no one more hyped up on the field than Formentera.
He's the Spartans hype man, isn't he?
He is. And you can see that ball was on the turf there. It was incomplete.
So they will punt it away and they will give. Oof. How's the bounce on this one? It's actually worked out quite well for them. Stay away from that one, and it's going to bound to around the 52-yard line or the 48-yard line.
So we've got a minute 46 left by the looks of it here.
Well, this will be the 2-minute warning. That's what he's calling for now. So that is the 2-minute warning. So they've got 1:49 on the clock here.
And this is a good pressure on the punter as well, overloading one side, coming in and forcing that kick to bounce up and come short.
Tell you what,
they just got a very lucky bounce on that one.
It took one hell of a Victorian bounce, that.
Look, these things, they go at ebbs and flows. The last one had a South Australia bounce. This one had the Victorian bounce on it. And Victoria could not have needed that bounce more in this situation to force them to go as far as possible on what will probably be South Australia's final drive.
You would think so, and they're now forcing them, and they've got an empty backfield because they're now forced to go aerial. The running game has not managed to break as much. Oh, false start, Gavin Jones.
And they see they've brought Gavin back in on the offense now as well.
Right of the snap, false start, number 77 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, we saw it, unfortunately. So now they do have to go aerial. And my kingdom for a kicker right now.
And it's one of those things as well. Victoria's still only playing a single high safety as well, which means they've only got one guy at the very back defending deep, but the corners are playing deep as well. Look for them to attack the sidelines.
Oh, the stop and go. Work! Go! Gets away! Touchdown, South Australia! Zion McMahon!
Hits him with the gritty as well. As I said, look to attack the sideline there, and that's exactly what they did with McMahon, and it comes up big. As I
tell you what, the double move absolutely destroys cornerbacks. Yeah. And what a take by Zion McMahon.
And also credit to Pat Ryan as well. There was a guy in his face and still delivered that ball. And look at this. Oh, they
just get away from it. Yeah, that's a wonderful throw from Ryan. And the touch on it is perfect. And a little bit of the Jordan look as he went in and caught it. It is all about...
It is all tied up at the moment.
It's about this point after try. There you go, there's your gritty. It is all about this point after try. There's a timeout been called.
That's a very smart timeout call by the Victorian coach there. This is the most important defensive stand of the game right now. They need to stop this to realistically
There's still 1 minute 35 on the clock. That is a long time in football.
It is indeed, but they need to make sure they get this. So worst case scenario, we can go to extra time if we're doing that.
The juniors are meant to kick off at 1:30. So I'm not sure what the overtime chances are, but it's a different style of overtime. I think everyone starts on the 20. It's a college overtime, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So everyone gets one possession. I think it might start a little bit further out than the 20.
25?
And if you both fail to score,
then you go again?
Then you go again, but from closer, I think is how it's run. But both teams get a shot at possession in overtime.
Coming up late with wet sails, Zaya McMahon for MVP.
I think it'd be hard pressed to take it away from him now with that.
Motion. Oh! Heard that from up here, and
that is a big hit.
That is a huge hit. It's always risky throwing over the middle.
I mean, that's a middle linebacker's dream.
Oh, isn't it just sitting there, waiting for him? You would. I mean, again, like.
Utamapu again, just with the big hit.
And absolutely unloaded on him.
And that's a very clean hit below the shoulder.
And again, if you're going to take that hit, you want the ball in your hands.
Also, if you're going to wear that many sweatbands, you've got to be good, and he's lived up to it.
That's very, very true. So, is there a miracle on either side?
We'll see. I'd look for Olive to kick this as deep as possible. It
has to go out the back of the end zone.
You don't want to return.
So what have they got? They've got Barrington back there as well. So they've removed. They've taken away Jacob Carrin from the.
Who's sitting in the back right now?
Oh no, it is Carrin, right, all the way at the back. He was hiding behind a monitor of mine.
They want Taylor blocking because of his physicality.
He's not going to get it. It's going to be a long return. It's going to be 100 yards if he comes away. Looking for his blocks. Gets a seam. Tackle is made. And that is an incredibly important tackle. Cole Calderon.
That is a fantastic tackle there. They've got 70 yards they need to make up. This is all South Australia defence right now. They've been lights out in the second half. They need to continue.
I don't think you're going to see much clock management from Victoria now.
It's going to be, let's get that ball, let's get it quick. And just remember, that ball's wet. That could slip in his hands, being so wet at the moment.
And it gets heavy as well.
Throwing into the wind, this is exactly what the South Australia defence wants. The wind is still gusty out there, may not be as strong as it was before, but it is still blowing out there.
So 1:20. I'm not sure timeouts-wise where we're up to.
I think both teams have taken one.
Short dump, and it'll just be for a couple.
That's a good tackle by Stevens there, coming up, sitting back, letting something underneath develop, and then coming up and making the play. And that's what we talk about in these low time situations when there's not much time left on the clock. Let the play develop in front of you, come down and make a play on it as a defender, and that's exactly what Stevens did there.
Less than a minute. Oh, I tell you what, that wasn't far away from being tipped by Matt.
Nor was it too far away from being a backwards pass and being ruled a fumble as well.
It's so close. It is a hard one again from a QB point of view, because the other thing as well is if it's a backwards pass, your line can go.
They can go, but also if the receiver thinks it's forward but it is backwards and they're not going for it and the defense picks it up, it's a
fumble. Yeah. Clock stops on 50 seconds. 3rd and 8. Is there another possession in this? Oh, first down. That is a big, big fair hook and ladder.
Oh, we've got a
Breaks an
flag
extra
down.
couple. I don't know whether that would be 4.
It's for something off the ball, though. It was thrown well
I tell
behind
you,
the
if they
flag.
go from the lateral, would have been heart in mouth stuff for the coaches over there.
This is some like Disney football movie miracle situation right here.
Just backyard football. They waved it off?
I think they've waved
it off. That's a big first down as Aris Hua comes down with it.
And with the pinpoint lateral as well. to guard them, to take a few extra yards and just gain every bit they can out of it.
Around 30 seconds to go. Very deep and overthrows everybody. Clock will stop, 30 seconds to go.
And we've got William Geach just had a breather last rep. He's back on now. Look for him to get in the rusher's face, in the quarterback's face. He's been doing it all game. You can guarantee you that South Australia have got their full pass rush package in now as well.
They're going to be looking for a deep pass here.
Yeah. Look to have Josh Leo and Matt Martin on the edges, Geach up the middle, and just get as much pressure as they can here. South Australia playing very deep.
He's going to roll out the pocket. Martin will hit him just as he gets there, so it will be 3rd down. Clock will stop.
And
you can hear the rain now. For the first time today, it's actually raining with something behind it. It's not a drizzle, it's rain.
And this is exactly what Victoria doesn't need.
They do not want that.
And that is a great bit of pressure and a nice solid quarterback hit there by Martin. So that is a stat as well, a quarterback hit.
One of the things that Matt Martin does have, because he's not the biggest lineman in the world, but he's quick.
His short area quickness is insane in comparison to other D linemen that you might see. So that's his big thing. He's a very good pass rusher. And
fumble! Wait for a signal, because that was on the floor for a long time. Waiting for a signal.
Looks like they're going...
It looks like Victoria have got it still. That is not great conditions, but he didn't fall on it. He's still live. Oh, that rain.
And that's the rain right there playing havoc on that when you've had a ball that's been slightly greasy all day into the full wet.
Yeah, I know he does get it back eventually.
That is Victoria ball. And look at
David
that rain.
Nielsen.
It's going on a 45-degree angle, so you can tell that wind is still there.
Yeah, welcome to the Australian winter. We're not even we are winter now, aren't we, June?
We are.
June, we're
now.
in winter. And look, John Formentera being the hype man while on the field as well.
Look at him go. He's getting them up. He's got, who's number 74 there? Lawrence Meyer. He got jumping because John's going. Look at him. He gets the
Concentrate on you, bro. Concentrate on the game, though, John. Come on. Now he's in the press as well. 4th down. Secured. He'll scramble. He won't get to the 1st down, and I tell you what, I think Andrew Stevens got that. It would have been an absolute... His eyes will have lit up a free hit. 9 seconds on the clock. They will have one shot.
Do we have another McMahon miracle?
Run the same play. Just run the same play.
But surely as Victoria, you just drop everyone deep now. Linebackers, safeties, corners, they're all deep, and you've just got your 4 rushing.
I mean, look, to be honest, from Nielsen's point of view, there's not a lot else he could have done that. But, yeah, Andrew Stevens would have absolutely... He would have been licking his lips because there was no slide there. He's got a free shot on the quarterback.
And he took every bit of it. And I'm sure he delighted in every single bit of it. And look, now the rain's died down a lot for South Australia. It's like we're controlling
God is on our side. Mother Nature wants a South Australian win. It's slow at the moment. 9 seconds.
Looks like they're going with the 4 receiver, the quad set on the near
Quad set
side.
on this near side.
And then is
They've
that
got
Gavros?
Gavros isolated up on that far side. I know that I always used to look at that isolation. Again, this is something that the Spartans used to do, and I would look at that isolation and wonder whether it was something that I could get. And a stop and go up on that top might work. It is a double move. He's going to have to find somebody. He does find somebody. Gets the first down. Got to get down. Got to get the timeout. There's a flag. Clock stopped 4 seconds.
And let's see what the referees have to say here.
I mean, the flag has come from the far side. That would suggest like a block in the back or something, maybe. It's a long decision, because even for the officials at this point,
They're getting moved
they're
back.
walking back. It's on South Australia, whatever it is.
Pass interference on the offense. Eligible receiver blocking downfield. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay first.
Yeah, and they didn't give a number, and I assume that's Mitch Gavros has done something over on that far side.
Then how is it pass interference on the far side like that?
Well, he said,
It can be like...
did he say eligible receiver downfield and blocking?
Yeah.
So just see whether we can keep an eye on Gavros on that far side. So is it possible that he thinks he's scrambling so Gavros starts to engage in a block?
Yeah, we don't see it on that replay there.
They have to go. He's going to look on that far side. Oh, very nearly picked off. The clocks hit the zeros. We are going to overtime. I don't think there's a huge change here. I think we're going to get ready to go straight away, and then it'll be the toss to see who goes first. You would think. If we could get the wide, it depends on whether we've got the replay on it. Director is sat just to my left. If we got the wide one from the play just before, we might be able to see what Mitch Gavros has done, if anything.
So what do you do
So
here?
this is about the best view that we can get. The only thing I can think is Mitch Gavros, as soon as he sees him scramble, has just clicked into blocking mode. I don't know.
So yeah, we'll see what do you do here in overtime? If you win the toss, do you take the ball and try and put scoring pressure
Yes,
on
I
first?
would. Certainly.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. But you know, a stand with your defense that's been strong all day is also a viable option.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like we've spoken about this before. You've only one mistake, aren't you? So if you blow your contain, or you miss a tackle, it's been a long afternoon or long morning. Sorry, it's been a very long morning. So if you just make one tiny mistake, referee's going in.
Are they?
Well, they're just trying to get dry. I don't know what's going on. I mean, the juniors are meant to kick off in around 12 minutes.
I think we're going to have a bit of a delayed start to that one.
I would suggest so. I just don't understand why the referees have...
Have they called the game?
Are they changing the clock? I'm not entirely sure what's happened here. I haven't seen a ball... Everyone's leaving. Would it be a tie?
I don't know. By all looks of it, it looks like they've called
They're having a
tie.
break. How long are they putting on the clock? 2 minutes. 5 minutes. Oh, so it looks like we're going to start overtime in
5 minutes.
around 5 minutes time. Yeah. So we'll just step out for a second, and we'll be back with you for the start of overtime. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There is the coin toss happening. I don't think it's mic'd up. Very famously, who is it who very famously said, "We'll have the ball and we're going to win"? You're the man who knows. You know the one I mean.
I know
Was it Seahawks? Would have been Matt Ryan if it was the Seahawks, wouldn't it?
No, it was Matt Ryan when he was with the Falcons, and he said, "We'll take the ball and we're going to win."
Oh, it wasn't Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
No, we'll have the ball and we're going to win. And they didn't. Because it's mic'd up, the coin toss is mic'd up in the NFL. So we'll just have a seat. And we know that the way it works is each team will have a possession. We know that. That's going to happen. So if whoever goes first scores, then the next team has a chance to score to go to double overtime, essentially. But it's not an open field. It will start on whatever it starts on, the 25, the 20, the 30, we don't know. We'll get to that. We never think about this stuff. It's always when we get to this point, I think, I probably should have spoken to the officials before this, just in case it gets to it. But we didn't think we were going to get to this point at all.
I think it starts on the 30 from memory, like your own 30, so you've got 30 yards to score.
It doesn't happen very often. I was involved. I was a backup QB for a Great Southern Bowl that went to overtime, a very, very famous one, where I think did the Razorbacks score?
Yeah.
No, they didn't score. We didn't score. The Spartans didn't score.
Yeah, we didn't score.
And then there was a controversy, and then they went in and scored. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think back at how far out that was.
Yeah.
So they're moving away to the left, so they're going to be down this end.
So it looks like the defense is on for South Australia first.
I'm just trying to see who's coming out. It looks like the defense is coming out first. Yeah. So it's going to be Victoria that have first bite at it, and it looks like they are spotting it on the 25.
So they've got two opportunities for a first down as well. They can get a first down at the 15 and a first down at 5. And basically, they have to score.
Yes, that's about it. I mean, a turnover, a fumble, or an interception. They can run the interception back, I assume.
I'm pretty sure if South Australia gets an interception and runs it back, the game's over.
Yeah, because that's their spot, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's see what. I think Victoria get to choose if they want it.
Matt Hasselbeck. Thank you very much to James Arthur. It was Matt Hasselbeck who did it. Yeah. And then threw a pick six to Al Harris in the first play. Yeah, that's about as bad as it gets. Yeah. So here we go. Overtime. Victoria will have the first bite of the cherry.
First play, they're going to hand it straight off to the big fella. As far as the
clock goes, I don't think there's a clock, is there?
No.
There is no clock. There's the first one. He'll find it underneath and make a couple miss. Will he get in? No, just short.
So now South Australia have left themselves in a very tough position to start this overtime period.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get it right, that's a good time to do it. That's Aris Hua, who we've not called his name a lot offensively.
He made the great lateral play at the end of the fourth quarter there, and just showing that he's a threat with the ball in his hands as well, not just throwing it backwards to his teammates.
Theo Ashley with a very, very important tackle. And it is the underfoot now. The defenders have to be very, very, very good getting their footwork right.
This is they're just going to pound it up the middle.
This is going to be massive for them. There is the first one.
And they've called it short by the looks of it.
Just short, couldn't get his hands free. Tau Lapapa.
And it's a big task to ask to stop him 4 times in a row, which is...
Well, yeah, that's true. I tell you, that's Mr. Geach as well. Again, he just wrapped the ball up. The initial tackle wasn't him, but he's just managed to. And then Nielsen will look on the outside.
Oh!
Absolutely massive.
That is Abdul
Jalul.
Oh,
That is about a bigger defensive stop as you would want to see.
He is saying, do not forget about me in that defensive MVP conversation.
That's a touchdown. For every single cent that you've got in your bank account, that is a touchdown.
That is not only a good form wrapping him up there, but it is absolute power to stop him as well.
Has to stop him dead.
And absolutely does. That is outstanding by Abdul Jalil there.
Okay, so 3 down. Looks to dump it over, and Casabara says, whatever he can do, I'm going to bring myself back into this conversation. The big bat down, 4th down.
This is, it's all on the line now for Victoria. They need to score on this play, otherwise South Australia gets a shot to win the game.
Big from Jaden Casabara.
And they were looking for Jacob Karen there as well. He's been the go-to guy all day. But Casabara all over it, knowing that he's the go-to guy, shuts it down nice and early. Never a doubt when Casabara's there, right? Huge moment in the border battle too. He'll go middle again. He's going to try and find a way through. He does find a way through. They couldn't stop his forward momentum. And finally, Taula Papa breaks the plane of the goal line. There's players down all over the place. Officials timeout. They did stop him, and then he just managed to bull his way over. That is an effort and a half right there by Taula Papa. Just absolutely, look at his legs. They never stop moving. He's just churning. That's so close. That's just a big, strong effort by a big, strong human right there. As Al Pacino famously said, football is a game of inches. Inch by inch, play by play. Inch by inch, play by play. You've got to fight for that inch. Die for that inch. And he certainly did fight for it there, and he's rewarded with the 6-point touchdown there, and they've still got the opportunity to go for the conversion here as well. So that's the 6, so it's 18 points to 12. We could come down to a PAT again, couldn't we? It certainly could. It's nervy in the stands up here. The vast majority of people who are up here are South Australian. For all the Victorians watching on the broadcast as well, I'm sure they're sitting nervy as well, knowing how prolific this South Australian defence has been as well. Because remember, South Australia, if they get an interception on this 2-point or a fumble and return it, that's 2 points, and they've got a shot, and all they need is the 6 points to win then. Just trying to see who that is. That's a 41, which is Sretton or Addison is coming off, and that looks like a leg injury for him. So there'll be a delay, and they are just freezing the Victorians with regards to their PAT. Yeah. Either knee or ankle maybe on this one. It's looking very much knee. Yeah. And head coach Tom Etherton helping him off the field. That's community football. Certainly, it's look, as far as we are both South Australian, we make no excuses for that. We are both South Australian. You would think as well that regardless of the result, this has been an incredible showing by the Sharks. It certainly has. I mean, you have to go all hands out to the defense here. I mean, all day. They let up an early one on an interception. They let up an early one when they had a turnover. Ryan threw the turnover, and then they quickly turned that into 6 points in a screen pass. And since then, that defense has been lights out. Well, the fumble snap, that's going to start them off well. Yeah. So it'll just be the 6. So now, South Australia from the 25-yard line has 4 downs. They have 4 downs to get a first down.
To get a first down, but they need to score. This is what we've said. And unfortunately for South Australia, they haven't looked offensively that dangerous. So this is a big, big ask
I'd be looking
for the men in red.
I'd be looking for the touchdown on the first play if I
to be honest, I feel like that's what it's going to be. And again, go back to the play. Yeah. Go back to the play that worked. Yeah. Go back to your double move.
Go back to that wheel route.
Yeah, everything has been underneath. Show them underneath. Pump fake underneath.
What I'd like to see is a nice dig from the outside receiver and a wheel from maybe Martin here in the slot.
Trips up here as trips near side.
Get a slant dig wheel combo.
As long as they show underneath and then can break out. There is that break. Oh! Thomas Turno.
And that's it. They went deep there on the first one, and it was there.
It was there.
That touchdown was there to be had.
That hit both his hands.
You couldn't ask for a better ball from Ryan there. That's in his hands. That's a touchdown. That's a blowing touchdown.
I tell you, Pat Ryan. This is the thing now. Pat Ryan now has to just forget that.
Yeah. That's the hard part about playing quarterback.
Break again. Olive! Oh!
He was right on the sideline, though. That ball was basically out of bounds as he was catching it.
His feet were good, and Tyler Barrington says that he had that. And I tell you what, Tyler, you didn't. That was a first down if he managed to bring it in. Mitch Gavros will make his way to the sideline. 2 downs. Nothing so far. It's actually a fair point from James Arthur. He said, do we have a player who can come up and catch? I mean, McMahon really showed that he can, but it's just not been there all day.
It's not been consistent.
Always open. That was not the right throw.
It's not the right throw, but that is a hard throw to make under pressure.
Yeah, but there was open on that far side, and it was McMahon that we were talking about.
Are those thoughts creeping back into it from a quarterback perspective? You know that he's dropped the ball a few times.
Possibly.
Like, is he going away for it and trying to go to the more short-handed receiver?
At the moment, from a QB point of view, the thought that you're trying to get away from is exactly what James Arthur has just said. I mean, have I got a receiver who can catch today?
And that's it. And maybe that's what he's doing.
But you have to forget that thought and just trust your receivers. They've gone quads on the far side. He's open. The wheel is open.
Yes.
Well, at least they get the first down.
Is that Olive again?
Mitch Olive steps up.
He goes, you know what? Maybe no one else can, but Mitch can. Mitch, as sure-handed as they come. I mean, he makes the... He's
that open that it's almost like playing catch in the park. He was that open.
And just from before, Taylor, when you thought you had him, you didn't have him that time.
No, not that time either, and you missed the tackle.
Yeah. But great throw, delivering it on 4th down when it was needed most.
Certainly was needed the most.
Yeah.
We've got the first down.
And
just need to find another one now.
And breaks that first tackle.
Hang on a second. We've gone back to the 35. Was there a flag?
It looks like
well, a penalty could have absolutely put a nail in the coffin there. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what that was. I didn't see a signal. I didn't hear anything. I didn't even see a flag. But it's a big one. And now he has to hold it. Has to make the first down. Has to make the first down. He does! Makes the first down. Where's the spot? Oh, the spot is short.
And he is called short.
If he's called short, that's it. That's game.
They've called it short.
The border battle too literally comes. They're not even going to measure it. That's it.
That's the
border
game.
battle 2 comes down 2 inches, ladies and gentlemen. Victoria win it 18 points to 12. The important part was Tau Lapapa. Can we see? Do we get a look? We're not going to be able to see where he steps out of bounds. Barrington coming across.
Oh, that is
so close. Pat Ryan had to go. And as soon as he crossed the line of scrimmage, he had to keep it.
It looked like from that angle that I think that was the right call, and his knee went down a little
we're not going to
short.
say it's not. And just watch that again. I'm almost speechless, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the closest. Oh, I tell you what.
That angle makes it...
That angle makes it look very interesting, but you know camera angles can do funny things. Ladies and gentlemen, an absolutely incredible border battle number 2. Border battle number 3, hopefully next year, will be absolutely one to make sure that we are watching. Ladies and gentlemen, the juniors will be coming up at about 1:30. Well, that was 9 minutes ago, so that's not happening. The juniors will be coming up. I will not be commentating that one, but thank you very much for spending your time with me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that we will see you again soon. An absolute belter in the state capital. The weather was in and out and in and out. The South Australians were very close. They've lost this one by inches, ladies and gentlemen, but they can hold their heads up high. And as per usual, the Victorian Eagles, absolutely outstanding and just did enough today. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you again soon. Hang around for the juniors.